on the street,
Yes.
I think people are holding their cards to their chest. People are just sitting and waiting.
You think that the Hanoverians,
to do what they're supposed to do.
Hanoverians are going to return the members of parliament from the Labour Party, but that they are just holding on to it? That's what you think?
At least it would be an even. I'm expecting an even. I'm seeing an even.
1-1?
Yes.
That's
what I expect.
You care to say which one?
Well, Eastern and over will be for the Labour Party.
That's Dave Hume.
Yes.
Okay. So
I suspect it will go back to them. To the Labour Party.
Diego done?
Because a lot of work is yet to be done in the constituency.
Diego, yeah. Come here, no man. I need to talk to Diego. But so you think that the that Western is vulnerable?
Yes. I would put it a bit on the dicey table.
Diego, don't comment in the box and don't talk to me. Come up and say something, man. JLP is a wicked party. What do you mean by that? Yeah? What do you mean by that, Diego? Diego? Oh.
Well, I think I would interpret that to mean that they always...
I have more PNP. They tell me they like the program. Oh, I tell you. Diego. I'm coming to you, Diego. I'm coming to you. PNP makes statement and run, eh? We are crying for Bolt. Yeah. Oh yes. Diego, Bolt's father died. That's why you're crying? You're crying for Bolt's father? Bolt's father died, yeah. Condolences to you, you say. And we're praying your strength. I know that it's a hard time. Gustav, you ready for me? Why these Labour Party people, they're busy, you see? They're all over the place. I tell you, yes. Lots of PNP people, they just don't log on, you know. Look at the PNP numbers. More than 30 of them. Listening. You're going to get beaten in Manchester. There you go. You're getting beaten in Manchester. Westmoreland, you can't win. Portland gone green. Look at that. Eh? Two love in Portland.
I've never seen a party.
Yes.
That is fine.
Trelawney, let me tell you what's going to happen in Trelawney. Hold on. Let me tell you what's going to happen with Trelawney. Trelawney Northern and Trelawney Southern. Two love in Trelawney. Two love. Boy, they are heartbroken. But I have to tell you the truth. You want me to lie? I can't lie. I'm telling you the truth. Two love. I see where you're going after Delroy Chuck's seat, Diego. Really? Why you be going after Delroy Chuck's seat? You're wasting your time?
Hi. Boy, I tell you something. This is all very exciting.
You're going after Delroy Chuck's seat.
I've never seen a set of people. I've never seen a set of people so blissfully engaged in illusion and delusion.
Illusion. It's delusion. Oh my goodness. Boy. Yes, they're going after Chuck seat. That's what the Gleaner is reporting, that the PNP is going after that. He's going after. That's a report. All right. Let me see what's happening online here. Let me see what's happening. So my information is that Rhoda is in pole position. I see where the mayor of Mandeville is looking out against the park. You know, one on park there, eh? Keep working hard, Rhoda. You can do it. Let me tell you what's going to happen in Manchester. Manchester, you know. Manchester at all. Let me tell you what's going to happen in Manchester. Give me a second. Manchester. Central, okay? North Patrick, Mandeville, Royal Flat, Belfield. All right. So Royal Flat, and in Mandeville, the battle is in Belfield and North Patrick. You come out of North Patrick Road with about 2002, can't lose. Come out of North Patrick strong. Try and pick up about. Come out of Belfield with 1300. 1300. And let's see what happens. Christopher is coming on. Christopher? Good morning, sir. How are you? Morning. Christopher? Why have God's brother is doing this one? All right, so I'm going to have to close the box because Sheldon, respect to you here. Listen, guys. Remember, if you appreciate the program, that you are to support the program by, you know, liking the page, sharing the live, sending a gift. Okay, that's how we keep going. And guess what? We have lots more for you. Lots more information.
My neighbor, good day, my neighbor. I'm sorry for not being available when you wanted me to, but I sure can join now and support my neighbor for a brief moment.
You're not going good. You're not going good, Gustav.
Well, I can understand why you say that, neighbor.
What happened to you guys when you turn celebrity, you know?
No, neighbor.
Yes, man. That's what happened to no when you turn.
No, sir.
Gustav. Eh?
On my end, I'm just trying to make amends of life, you know, not being an idler and so forth.
Little countryman, take bus come at town and
Tell you
boops.
something.
Power
Sure.
gun.
It's all very exciting.
The power gun, Gustav.
Well,
Gustav,
I hear you shading the pothole free man.
Eh?
Pardon? I hear you shading the pothole free man.
Did you see Bobby Pickersgill coming back, sir?
Man, it seems Pickersgill is replacing Patterson after Patterson would have been hit in the head by a ferocious Andrew Holness bouncer.
No.
So it seems he was brought back to the crease out of retirement too, and seemingly want to be hit by a ferocious Andrew Holness bouncer too.
Yes, but Gustav, seriously though, in 2025, when we should be looking to progress, the PNP is practicing a type of politics that is disappointing.
They call it desperate politics. Desperate politics is the term for it. Desperate politics. Or desperate politicsing, if there's a word.
You think it's desperation?
It is desperation, my neighbor. If you have a track record of doing very little for a country that you'd have reigned supreme over for such a long time, and when you want to represent yourself to these people with a scarce track record, I mean, you have to see yourself as just the truth, being desperate. And this is not being political, it's just being pragmatic. The PNP, their backs are against the wall, neighbor. It would have been easier for the PNP had they had enough or a better track record of representing Jamaicans at a better caliber, you know, or as they should have. They would have stood a better chance, in my opinion. And furthermore, they could have still stood a chance had they reshuffled the structuring of their party, making it more young people associated, and also giving the younger people the dominant voice in the party versus the older heads. I mean, with all due respect to them, they could have been there still, but as advisors to the younger ones. So it is a literal insult to young aspirants of the PNP who has forward thinking for Jamaica, to be honest, because not all of them might adopt the PNPism. Some would like to change the PNPism, and unfortunately they are not being given the chance to do so.
Yeah.
So therefore,
but I don't understand. User 93174040911. Oh, you remember the number, sir? I don't understand the strategy at all. So how does this attract voters to the party? How does it attract voters?
well, I would like to continue, but Jamas Campbell microphone is on. Giving me a feedback.
Sandra.
Jamas microphone is a problem, neighbor. Jamas Campbell.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, them unruly, you see. Sandra? Morning, Sandra.
Hi, hello.
Good morning. Good morning. It's actually 12
Yes, good
midday.
afternoon.
How are you?
Yes,
Is it your
I'm
first
fine.
time?
I'm doing fine.
Is your first time?
Pardon? Yes, it's my first time.
Can you speak up a little?
Pardon me?
Pardon you. You have to speak up a little, because I'm not hearing you so well.
Yes, it's my first time. It's my first time joining in.
Yes. Sandra, did you see Bobby Pickersgill on stage over the weekend? Or do you see?
No, I didn't see him.
Did you see Katie Knight?
Yes, I heard you was talking, but my
You
phone
heard?
went off.
I noticed
Yes,
that you have a picture of the Prime Minister on your profile. You support the Labour Party?
yes, I support the Labour Party
Why? Why are you supporting them?
because the Labour Party, I come and see my parents supporting the Labour Party. My mother, my father, yes, I come see them supporting Hardleshire, Manchester.
That's where you're from?
Yes, that's where I'm from, but now I'm living in Westmoreland, Western.
You're in Western Westmoreland.
Yes,
And how are things over there? That's in Moreland Wilson's constituency.
yes, in Moreland Wilson constituency.
Is he going to win back?
Yes, he's doing a lot of work here.
Tell us some of the things he's doing.
He's doing a lot of things. The road works. We were out of water. He tries to deliver water, houses, yes. And for the packages of food stuff for kids, those who have the elders, yes, he's doing a lot of work. He's doing a lot of work.
What you saying to me?
Yes, he's doing a lot of work here. in the
Okay.
Western. Yes, he will get back his seat.
You wouldn't vote PNP, ma'am?
Yes, I'm voting.
But you wouldn't vote for the PNP?
No, I never, and I will never.
You would never vote for the PNP?
No, I will never vote for the PNP.
Why?
I never did. I'd never see my grandmother and grandfather. I saw Hardleshire do a lot of work for my parents in Manchester. Yes, he does a lot. He does a lot for my parents. My mother, was a farmer. She and my father, they both were farmer. They
Yes.
and they plant and they sell in the Mandela market.
Yes.
And when my mother house was to be finished, it was hardly Shah that do that for her.
Yes. You know, I don't support what is called clientistic politics, but go ahead. I just want to be consistent. But tell me something, mommy. Why what the PNP said time come? What do you think about that?
I don't see what PMP time come for. I don't see. I don't
You,
see what the time come
you don't
for.
see what time come
There's
for?
no time for them.
You
No,
don't,
there's no time for them.
that man waste time.
They are a waste of time. They are a waste of time. Yes. And in Mile Gully, because in Mile Gully, I know Damien will take that seat also.
Hold on,
Because
that's not West Manchester.
yes, because my mother is
hold on,
from
ma'am. You
my
are saying
mother.
no, ma'am. Don't
My
wait, no.
mother
You are
is
saying Sandra. Wait on. You are
yes,
saying
my
that.
mother is in. My mother is from where this guy our sister that we moved over into the Labour Party. That's that guy in Malgully, Damien, will take his seat, the
Damien
PMP,
will win.
because he does nothing. He does nothing. I'm sure. I'm telling you, he does nothing
Damien
for
will
the
be
people up here. That's where my father came from and married to my mom, and living there in Mile Gully. And he does nothing for them up there. Nothing. And this guy that came in, he does a lot of work for them up there. He's doing great. Yes, he's doing great, because my sister is working also with that party, that guy Damien, and they are doing a lot of stuff up there.
You know that the Labour Party has not won that seat since 1980.
Yes, I know.
89.
Yes, I know. I know,
It is the
and I
strongest
know
PNP
this
seat in
guy will
Manchester.
take it. This guy will take it from Peter Phillips' son. He
And
is
what you
gonna
saying to me?
take it. He's doing a lot for the young people up there.
If the Labour Party is winning Northwest, then they are going to win.
Yes.
They're going to win 60
That guy
seats.
will have it. That seat will be won by them.
Oh, what you say?
It will be won by the Labour Party.
You're predicting that, or you have the information?
Pardon me?
You're making a prediction, or you have information?
I am telling you, because even that my aunt got a house from Andrew Holness. My aunt got a house from Andrew Holness when they were also talking that Andrew giving house and taking it back and taking also the land. That's a lie. My aunt has died.
No, sir, the Labour Party will not
PMP
only win one
is
seat
a
in Manchester.
liar. PMP,
Gerfman too? Not at all. That's not true.
I'm telling you, PMP
So
is
you
a
think
liar.
it's for love in
The
Manchester?
PMP party,
You're saying it's for love in Manchester?
pardon me? Yes, the PMP is a liar, and they are both wicked. They are a wicked
sir.
set.
Good day, sir. Too early. Too early. All right. Miss,
Hello?
you are saying that they're going to win 4 seats in Manchester?
Yes.
The
PMP, they don't truthful. They are lie, and people are finding out that they are lie.
You said the
PMP. The PMP is very lie. They are wicked. Because my aunt died, and is her granddaughter received that house that Andrew Holness have built.
Yes.
My aunt died last year.
They get one of the social houses.
Yes, she get one of the social houses from the Prime Minister. So when the PMP was going around telling the lies that the Andrew Holness administration is very lie, and Andrew is lie because Andrew is taking back the houses and the land from the people that they have received. I said no, that's a lie.
Yes.
That's a lie, because my niece is there in that house living right now.
Then you wouldn't give them a chance.
Pardon me?
You wouldn't give them a chance, the PNP. Just give them a chance to see what they're going to do.
No, there's no chance for them from my family. I have a big family in Manchester, and there will be no chance for them. There will be no chances for them.
Oh.
There will be no chances for them from my family. I have the biggest family.
But Donna, listen
over
to their Donna,
both
listen to
in my
their head in
gully
the poll. Donna, listen to
and
their head
both
in the poll.
in Manchester, over in Mandeville.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes. But Donna, listen to their head in the poll, man.
So we are going
But
for
my
that.
neighbor, just a minute, Sandra, just a minute. But my neighbor,
Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm coming to you. Say, I want you to listen to something. I want you to listen to something. Just give me a chance. Give me a chance, listeners. Give me half a minute and I'll.
Market share. Here to call it again. I beg you never to call it again. Come on, like put on the green cap. You see this Mobile? This Mobile. What is the call it again? The piece to call it again. Right. Chopper. You can't call it. What is that? 20. We want to tell them say at time come, we then get it 30. Alright. I want gang of labor right now. Show. Who know your market share say call you again? Who know you the PMP them say call you again? See like what's that? Call you now, this is call you now. Who no can't say I bet you never say call you now. They can't say call you. The one on the top call you now. Market share. You can't say call you again. I bet you never say call you again. Come on, like put on the green cap. You see this Mobile here? This Mobile. Who say call you again? The PMP say call you again. Right. Chopper. Yes. Man, up your business to call you again. Can't call it. What is that? 20. You want to tell them say at time come, we then get it third term. Yeah. Alright. I want gang of labor right now. Show. Third term. Hold on. Call you again. They not to call it.
Boy, I tell you. Gustav?
yes, sir.
Yes, they must say they can't say call you again. I want to go on. No hot up the road now.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing for the PMP to gain if the election were to be called. No, to be honest, because there's no coming back after election defeat. I mean, there might be a comeback in another election, but when you lose, you lose. You know what I mean, neighbor? For anybody out there who is of the view that PMP should be given a chance, the PMP would have had several years of chances, uncontested chances to call them as well. The PMP had their chances, neighbor, in a time when the Labour Party was in top disarray, meaning there was a lot of infighting in the Labour Party, coupled with the character assassination of the then Mr. Siaga. So with all of those negative factors against the Labour Party, the PMP had a playing field to themselves, and probably that's why they mistreated Jamaicans. In fact, neighbor, these are not my words. The data that I would have used or assumed to say that the PMP would have been uncontested is the same data the PMP would have used to describe themselves as being owners of Jamaica. In other words, them said a PMP country neighbor. So it must have been something that would have led to that conclusion by the entire party to feel that the Jamaican electorates belong majority to the PMP.
Uh-huh.
But when you check the reality, neighbor, PMP had their chances on constituency levels and also at local government level. We try to use the representation of the PMP not only at central government, but we give them a little compromise, neighbor. And even then they failed in the compromise. We try to be fair to the PMP by even assessing their performance based on a constituency level or constituency levels. And my God, boy, the PMP would have made a mess of themselves. Neighbor, we then again went and said, all right, we're going to give the PMP another chance. We look at them and we try to assess them at the local government level. Again, neighbor, the PMP would have made a grand shame of themselves at all levels. So when you chase it, neighbor, central government failed the people. In terms of constituency representation, the PMP failed the people. In terms of local government representation, neighbor, the PMP has a record for failing the people, but also failing them miserably.
Yes. Go ahead, sir.
So when we look at all those factors, neighbor, the PNP would have gotten countless amount of chances to redeem themselves, and also gotten countless amount of chance to distinguish themselves from the Labour Party for being the better party. Neighbor, with all of those chances, the PNP made a grand mockery of themselves, giving the Jamaican people mediocre representation and sabotage representation. For example, neighbor, when you have the audacity like AJ Nicholson to go on a political platform and you go say to the people in Northeast St. Elizabeth at that time that if a vote against Curran means that there's no water to come, and a vote for Curran Spencer would mean water to come. Those types of representation are disrespectful, neighbor, and sabotage. Yes. And the PNP has a knack of representing the people like that on a constituency level across divisions, across the 14 parishes. Those types of representation, no neighbor, whether or not that can be chased on the other side, which I'm on, generally speaking, it's a no-no. Neighbor, the Labour Party would have recognized that, look, those types of politics are not healthy for Jamaica nor Jamaicans. Is the Labour Party perfect? No, neighbor. But what is the distinguishing difference? The Labour Party would have recognized that the old political style of old bear no fruit for Jamaicans. While people would have benefited individually, those old politics style never benefited the masses. The Labour Party has sought to make sure that, look, our party now must start to represent the people to the best of its ability. Will things be all perfect? No, neighbor. But the thing is, we have seen a change. But the change is not the only thing. We have seen a change that came with a difference. For time and time, we have seen changes, but they have not came with any difference or differences. Now we have seen the changes, neighbor. The changes have also brought about differences. Differences, neighbor, where no member of parliaments are now making constituency people enjoying the precious commodity that have running water in their pipe. One of the most precious commodity that everyone needs, plants and animals and other things need water. Now these things, these precious commodities are no longer a scarcity to the people. These things are becoming accessible to constituency people. Neighbor, the constituency people would have cried miserably about their road conditions. So much so, neighbor, the PNP had to at one time promise the people that Jamaica would be pothole free by 2003. Neighbor, if they quoted us saying Jamaica would be pothole free by 2003, why not call Bobby Pickersgill, right? Bobby Pickersgill would have said Jamaica would be pothole free by 2003. Well, obviously, Bobby Pickersgill would have made such an utterance.
Man, we sound the trumpet. Call it, Andrew. Call it.
Yes, we will call it, Mr. Golden. I hope you find yourself on the winning side.
Believe me, Heinz.
I cannot believe me ears.
When do we call it,
This is all very exciting.
When do you call
I
it?
cannot believe me ears.
Man, we sound the trumpet. Call it, Andrew. Call it. And man, we sound the trumpet.
Boy, I tell you something.
When you call it, neighbor, listen to the opposition leader how he sound authoritative, as if he determines whether or not we vote against or for him.
Yes, so.
No, sir. Boy, I tell you, these people are fantastic.
Tell me something. I want to understand something. Sorry.
Yes, we're coming to you.
I want to understand something. Okay.
Call it, Andrew. Call it. And man, we sound the trumpet.
What trumpet?
Neighbor, let me give you a hilarious. Let me be nostalgic for a minute, neighbor. Let me be nostalgic for a minute, neighbor, and give you a little humor. I'm going to be nostalgic. No, neighbor, in the last election that was called, did you know that the comrades were of the same view that Andrew should call it? Neighbor, in Northeast St. Elizabeth, a famous comrade in a division, in the Silo division, at the end of the results on that night, on 2020, she collapsed. She fainted, neighbor, and had to be fanned with paper, shirts, and all type of things. She had to be fanned, neighbor. Neighbor, I will go as far as swear my life to say to you, if I'm lying now, I beg God to make the phone drop and make me mash up too. No, neighbor, she was off the view. She came up with broom. Yeah. She came up with broom, and they were off the view that the Labour Party time done. On the night of the results, neighbor, she fainted and had to be fanned by her fellow comrades. And others too would have suffered high blood pressure in 2020. We're expecting the same or worse in 2025.
Why? Why are you expecting people to faint?
Because these people are myopic. In other words, neighbor, these people are short-sighted, and also they are antithetical, meaning they're going against reality. Reality is, neighbor, Jamaica is moving forward in a more diplomatic way. We're no longer of the type of politics that the PNP
why are they
has
going to faint? Why are they going to faint?
They're going to faint again, neighbor, because they will be astonished by another Labour Party victory.
Astonished?
Well, neighbor, they will be fed a drink from the wine of astonishment when the election will be called again then.
I see. You mean the magnitude of the victory, or you mean the
every comrade cup will have a toast from the wine of astonishment, neighbor, when the election were to be called and ended. They will all be drinking from the wine of astonishment.
What is the wine of astonishment?
I tell you what, neighbor. You just keep that puss in the bag until the election would have been called, and then the results are in. Then we will
listen
see.
to this. Listen to this.
Right.
We sound the trumpet. Call it Andrew. Call it. And I man will sound the trumpet.
Why, Marky G, I dare you to call it. Why not call it?
Ignorant. Very ignorant.
Why?
All right.
Our neighbor.
So here we have a leadership, you see?
Yes.
Here we have a leadership, right? Mark Golding came into the PNP through being a traitor and being deceitful. He stayed and got power through being dishonest.
No, I don't know about
right?
it. I don't know that is so. I would rather
because look at now. Let's examine the facts. Let's examine the persons who we put up to who are serving the party for over the years. For example, that guy in Kingston the other day. There was this lady who her husband gave a eulogy at the funeral. There's this guy in Hanover, Craig Oates, and I could go on and on. I mean, that is just the evidence of
there is
what
no question.
Mark
There is
Golding.
no question, you know, sir, that Mark Golding is not a very impressive political leader in Jamaica. There's no question about that. I think there is enough to be said about Golding that would disqualify him for being prime minister. But I don't know about any nefarious things. There are some other persons online that I want to bring up.
But neighbor, I have a question. I have a statement.
Gerfman,
How are you,
come in
man?
and then Churchill
Good,
comes
good.
in after. Okay?
Okay.
Go ahead.
You know, I am listening to discourse, and as you rightfully say, and I will endorse what you said, that Mark Golding has not been an impressive opposition leader. I will
Well, he has
accept
not
that.
distinguished himself as
Exactly,
a
but listen to this. And I will bring it back to 2016 when Donald Trump ran against Hillary Clinton. Right? And I was one of the persons who wouldn't believe Hillary Clinton would have lost the election with all the shenanigans that went on with her throughout the election process.
Yes.
All right, I wouldn't believe that she would have lost. But it's one thing I've always heard, that Hillary Clinton had a war chest and Donald Trump didn't spend half of the money Hillary Clinton spent. But what Donald Trump enjoy is the free media. And because of the free media and the negative attacks from the Democratic Party towards him, frankly speaking, I believe that Donald Trump is the worst human being that is out there. To be honest with you. But you know what going to do? You know what going to help Mark Golding? The utterance of the Jamaica Labour Party is what going to help Mark Golding. Mark Golding's not going to win the next election against policies, but the utterance from these social media platforms, that is what going to put Mark Golding in Jamaica House and mark my word.
All right, sir.
For example, you must have an example of that.
Give me a chance now.
For example.
So you are suggesting that
Give us an example of what you're talking about.
Wait, sir.
The host if you hold on my boss, can me want answer him to me wait.
Hold on, sir. So you are suggesting that Golden is getting negative press.
I mean, correct.
No. Hold on. But that's not what your leader has said.
No. Hold on. No. I'm speaking from my perspective, and I have seen this play out all the time. And you guys is going to be astonished.
No. Nobody call me no you guys, sir. Nobody call me no you guys.
Well, whatever.
May I listen now? Distinguish yourself from me now. No, you don't come back with the same utterances that I would have used to shade me. I used that to shade you. I spoke literal.
Yes,
don't use it back at me now.
Let's
show
give
your
him
IQ and versatility. Hold on now. Show your versatility in IQ. Find a different word to say now. Nobody use but that the one they know. Like labor right, nobody use it. I will not go drink from it. So you know fitting for you use it again.
But I will tell you.
What's that example?
What I will tell you. The negative,
for example,
the negative argument, the demonization of Mark.
For example,
comrade.
For example,
comrade.
No, I didn't tell us I was a comrade, sir.
All right. Sorry, Garfman.
I never tell you I was a comrade.
You're talking.
He's a surrogate of the PNPR supporter.
Yeah,
then.
well,
Wait, no. Let me give
us an example.
Garfman.
Yes, sir.
You're talking nonsense. I'm going to show you why you're talking
All
nonsense.
right.
The press that the PNP has gotten in Jamaica over the last 4 years is overwhelmingly in favor of the People's National Party.
Did I tell you that the PNP not getting any press?
You just said.
No, that's not what I said.
There was a negative.
No, I said to you. The demonization and negative press
there
towards
is no
Mark Golden.
Neighbor, let us ask the fair question. Hold on, Garfman, just a minute now. Garfman, just a minute now, man. Don't put the live in disrepute. My neighbor, mute it, let me ask him something. Mute it, let me ask him something, man.
Give me 5 minutes with it. Let me show.
All right, no problem, my neighbor.
Let me show the listeners why this man is talking a whole heap of nonsense. Garfman too. The PNP has been campaigning in Jamaica for 4 years. The PNP has had the media, primarily a certain organization, on their side. They have even had polls trying to influence positive perceptions towards the PNP. The PNP led social media bloggers. For many years, the Labour Party was slow with its bloggers spreading all types of false narrative against Andrew Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party. It is just in recent times that the Jamaica Labour Party has stepped up its
towards the back end of last year, neighbor, and the start of this year, we have gained momentum ahead of the PNP.
And the PNP Garfman too has had an opportunity in the last recent budget debate to put something on the table so that the Jamaican people can find them attractive. And what them come with is that them are going to give Jamaican picnic 1 meal per day. That is what you need to be speaking about, sir. And don't come here with your foolishness about bad press and bad publicity for Mark Golden. No, go so. That is not true.
And the next thing that is not true, my neighbor, another thing that is not true, and he's trying to insinuate and also manufacture a narrative, and we have to be careful and recognize what he's trying to do. He's trying to tell people that is what they're supposed to do, because the reality is showing otherwise. Nowhere, just the people just don't want to see Golden. And next thing, he told earlier, neighbor, about Golden being demonized. Nobody demonized Golden than how Golden demonized himself. In fact, neighbor, Golden is not being demonized by the labor rights nor anyone from the Labour Party. The only thing that is demonizing Mark Golden is Mark Golden's past that he's trying to suppress. The only thing demonizing Mark Golden is Mark Golden, who is trying to deny what he would have done in terms of the contribution he would have indirectly played.
Hold on, Gustav. Garfman too? Garfman? You get a knockout or what? Come on, man. Open up your mic and talk. You know, one other thing I'm happy for today to hear you say, Garfman, it appears as if the effects of the Labour Party's activism is impacting and hurting the PNP. I think so. I think that's the problem.
The demon in the demon in Mark Golding's life is the past. The demon in the life of the PMP is the PMP's past. Nothing are being said about the PMP on an individualistic level. Nothing is being said about Mark Golding on an individualistic level. All we're saying about Mark Golding is his contribution would have miserably contributed to the failure of several Jamaican entrepreneurs and business owners. Yes, Mark Golding's contribution was indirect.
Let me make this point. And that because they are listeners, there has been no political leader in Jamaica that has been ostracized, castorized, demonized like Andrew Holness by the same Mark Golding.
None.
And for you to come here talk about demonized Mark Golding. Why you know your mic, sir? Why you know
exactly, neighbor? That's what I said to you initially, neighbor. He's trying to manufacture a narrative. He wants to create a perception for somebody to say, you know what? Let us be sympathetic towards Mark Golding. That's what he's trying to manufacture, neighbor. Neighbor, let us be real.
No, but you see,
there's no data, neighbor. Neighbor, Garfman too has no data to support what he's saying. There's no information in the media.
We should have given him the opportunity.
He's getting his brief. Give him a little chance. He's getting his brief. They are briefing him as how he's.
I asked him to give us examples of what he's talking about. I was hoping that he'd use his words to describe what he's talking about. No, but give him the opportunity. That's why I asked him for example. Give us example what you're talking about, because clearly you and I don't seem to have the truth and the facts. So let it go, because clearly we don't know and we don't see our experience, our witness. So he should come and tell us where we get that information from and give us clear example as to what he's talking about. He should be afforded that.
He's at PNP headquarters. He's getting his briefing.
While he does that, neighbor, let us allow Mr. Churchill to not forget his train of thought, nor foresight. So we'll just slide through Mr. Churchill for his moment in time.
Thank you. Churchill, are you there? I want Churchill to comment on why the PNP is bringing out Robert Pickersgill and KD Knight. Why don't I leave the people in bed to like... Why don't I leave Mr. Pickersgill in bed to drink his coffee?
I know.
Mr. Pickersgill.
And is there. Beautiful.
Foresight, Churchill got one tea time in foresight.
It's you know, it's
final curtain.
It's abuse of this. It's abuse, senior abuse. You know? It's abuse. They're abusing the seniors in the People's National Party.
Well,
somebody should report.
It could be a case to go forward
for abusing the seniors of the party. Come on, you thinking in the man of time?
No, they're going back to go forward. Imagine that. With a history like with those men.
They're abusing the senior. So we're not bring up nobody else. No, we're gonna bring somebody else up, man. Just hold on.
We believe
we're not here
that we own Jamaica. Therefore, anything that will cause us to win the election, we are prepared to do. Remember that famous.
It's good for the country and in the best interest of Jamaica, eh? Boy,
yes.
The good thing the Jamaican people are smart and getting foresight.
Yeah, go.
Yes, good afternoon.
Foresight, good afternoon.
There is no doubt that Andrew Holness is the biggest victim of malicious attack from the press.
Yes.
So come to try to make Mark Golding out to be the victim of that is just nonsensical. It is not true, you know. Would have been asking for responses, right? And not only the press, but you have also the civic group. You have IC, you know. You have even Jamaica for Justice, you know. We have seen the subtle attacks, right? So, you know, I don't know where Garfman get that from. Mark Golding self-destruct because of his own utterances, or people are just people have started to figure him out. Right?
That is sad for you to say that he has self-destruct.
Yeah, a lot of the criticism that Mark Golding is getting now is caused by Mark Golding himself. You know, his own utterances. right? And people are suspecting him now to be a liar, right? And that's based on his own contradicting statements, you know, his own utterances. It has nothing to do with the media attacking Mark Golding. I would want Garfman to give me an example of the media are attacking Mark Golding.
I don't know what.
Because
I don't know what.
we need to put them on the spot, you know, neighbor, when they come and talk, you know. We need to ask them for examples. We need not just allow them to just speak.
No, that's what,
know,
what
why
I've been doing that.
He's still here.
I've been
He's
asking
still
him
here.
that.
So ask him.
I have been asking that.
Garfman too.
We don't need to interfere, you know. I'm sure he has information to share with us, so it would be interesting for us to know.
Yes. Boy, I tell you.
But Garfman has gone quiet.
Yeah, he's
Maybe it's lunchtime at the headquarters.
You wouldn't be able to provide us with any example. I would be interested to hear.
Yes, I would be myself. But Forsyth, don't you recognize that it appears as if the Labour Party is now strong and the PNP is now worried? You don't see that there's panic. There seems to be some panic.
Yeah, but clearly there's a momentum.
When you're gonna have persons coming on to talk about demonizing Mark Golding, where is that?
As Gustav said earlier,
Golding,
he's trying to create a narrative, because what you realize is that there has been things have started to backfire on the PNP, right? Where you see the country now start rallying around Andrew Holness, right? Because the PNP, as I say, so what Garfman is trying to do now is trying to turn the tables in favor of the PNP, right? By making up Mark Golding to be this person who deserves, you know, sympathy or what are he wants to make seem as if we are being unkind to Mark Golding, or the media is being unkind to Mark Golding. But that is not going to sell, because people clearly can see what is happening, right? Yeah. So you can't change the narratives, and that is what you have to understand with the PNP. The PNP relies on narratives, right? So you must ignore the reality to believe in the narrative, right? Like your mic, Fillmore.
Yeah.
If you're a person who can assess things by yourself and on your own without going by the hearsay and the rumors and all of that, then you will never vote for PNP.
Yeah. Triple X, are you up? Triple X?
I am here now, man. And
good afternoon to you, Triple.
Good evening. First of all, let me say good evening to everybody on the panel.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon,
sir.
Yes, man. Good afternoon. May I listen to talk? I don't know what's out of touch with reality though.
All right. Triple X. Let us just be streamed, and your first time here.
Yes, sir.
We don't want no rudeness or disrespect here, sir. No profanity. Keep the conversation above the gutter. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the warning, my boss, because I was about to come and
X that is known around social media.
Yeah, I was about to earn nothing but obscenities and profanity. So thank you very much for the warning.
You were about to do what?
No, but that's a bit sarcastic, my brother. Sarcasm, bro.
All right. No,
anyway,
Triple X. All right. So we have Protecting Jamaica. We have Forsyth, Garfman, and then we have Thaddeus. There are other persons online. But I want to just get from you, when you said out of touch with reality, what is the reality that we're out of touch with?
Because you guys are saying that sneakingly all of these entities have been launching a campaign against Andrew Holness. Our media is against.
What entities? What entities?
No, the entities that you guys just named a while ago, Jamaicans.
No, we never named any entity.
Yes, I did hear somebody I was on the live and I heard somebody said the Independent Commission and Jamaicans for Justice and certain media houses and them something there. I'm gonna ask you a question. Jamaica is a democracy, right?
A what?
It's a democracy, right?
Well, I don't know about that.
Jamaica is not a democracy.
Well, you go ahead, man.
No, I'm just asking a question.
Well, that could be argued, but just go ahead.
All right. Well, even whether it could be argued or not, like
we say we operate in a democracy.
Ideologically, Jamaica is a democracy, and in a democracy, the job of the media, of organized media, is to report and to be impartial to whatever is going on.
Yes.
Not supposed to sing. Is not the job of the media. Is not only to sing praises to the persons in power, because if
not to be one-sided with it.
Hold on, sir. If that was what the media is doing,
Let him finish foresight. Come on, answer.
That would mean that we would be living in a communistic regime where the media is, or an autocratic regime where the media is state-run. So you can't look at when persons report what is going on or talk about incidences that are topical as attacks on the leader of the country. You can't look on it as that. Remember, I know, the leader of the country, because of democracy, is not omnipotent or omnipresent or beyond reproach. The person, whoever is running the country, is supposed to be criticized. Their job of the media is to criticize the person within power.
Triple X.
Mhm.
Triple X.
Yes, sir.
Triple X.
Yes, sir.
You're a young man, and
True.
probably you need a little lesson in history. You're a young man.
Okay.
Media in Jamaica has been used by political parties for their personal empowerment and to gain state power. That is a fact. Listen to me. Did you know,
Yes.
sir? I tell you, and maybe you don't even know the influence that political parties have over certain individuals in media.
Trust me, I know.
That they
Trust me,
use these people to write columns, shape opinions. And let me tell you something, young man. Had Jamaica and the world not been experiencing a transformation in media, probably the narratives and a lot of things that we enjoy today would either have been swept under the carpet, or they feed a particular narrative to the people through certain media outlets. And media in Jamaica, sir, there was a time when there was a narrative pushed for a particular party that suppresses truth. So don't tell me about democracy and media is to report news.
Neighbor.
I am asking.
Wait a little, protected. Wait a little. Because news is different from propaganda and commentary.
Okay.
Yes?
Okay.
When a man goes on a talk show and pushes an agenda, that's not news, sir. That's opinion.
Okay.
Yeah? And that's not facts. Yes? And you don't know who control these editorial boards and editorial rooms. Who control them?
And I can answer a question, sir. What it is that you are speaking right now? That is this would be fact or opinion based on your analogy of
what I've
opinion.
just said to you, sir, are facts.
And facts,
Neighbor.
facts adjacent to what?
Hold on the triple X. Neighbor, let me support your argument, neighbor. And I want you to give me a minute while I support your argument, neighbor. Listen to this triple X. Neighbor say a while ago, you're a young man. And even though you might not be very young, maybe you have paid attention to other things, so you wouldn't have been so tuned in to this part of nationhood until now, for whatever reason. But you mentioned something that democracy must be protected by the media.
I didn't say democracy must be protected.
Yeah, man. So as if Jamaica is a democracy, and then you mentioned the part that media must play in democracy, which is create balance. Know that you mean?
No, give balance representation of what is going on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so now that same thing may I say. You know, I will put to you and the listeners who are here that I am a proud practitioner in this regard, because had it not been for social media, Jamaica's democracy would have been dead. It is social media that have protected
Jamaica's democracy for the past 4 years. Let me continue. It is quite mysterious that after Mark Golding's best friend, the current chairman of the biggest media conglomerate in the Caribbean, RJR Group, which controls RJR, Gleaner, TVJ, and a few others. It is quite mysterious that after he came out in support of Mark Golding, remember, you know, the man who controlled the biggest media conglomerate in Jamaica came out supporting the opposition political party. It is quite ironic that yourself and Garfman would hold the positions you hold. After the entire civil society in Jamaica, every single one of them came out against the government because of allegations, but when time there are evidence of inappropriate actions and misappropriation of funds on the opposition side led by Mark Golding, the same people are silent. And I say to you today that the only reason why you and Garfman are holler is because after 4 years when you come out negatively influencing public perception against the Prime Minister, it didn't work. But let us talk about New Start 93 for 1 second with Conrad O'Brien, if that's his name. When I did done this, hold on, man, me respond to the first part.
On a long period,
May I respond to the first part of what you say?
Hold on, man.
Conrad O'Brien spend him days for New Start 93. When I did done this journalist we know in the media. Hammer in the Prime Minister left, right, and center. For 4 years, propping up Mark Golding. Then, Marlon Morgan now went to New Start 93 for about 2 months now. And after Marlon Morgan reached a New Start 93 for about 2 months now, not doing anything other than talking about the truth. Conrad O'Brien a petition him boss them for fire Marlon Morgan because him do not want balance and truth from the station. Just want one side of the story. Which side of the story is that? Demonize Andrew Holness and prop up Mark Golding. Now, here's the flip side of that.
You are going on. Hold on, my boss.
Let him finish now. Let him finish. Give him a few more minutes.
Here's the flip side of that. Hold on, Triple X. We know the truth a leak, but you have to hold on there. Garfman never did interrupt when time we are telling the truth. Can you say, you want to understand? The flip side of that is, nobody troubled Mark Golding. Mark Golding came out telling lies on him very self. 1 week, Mark Golding say, him got turn up in a visa line. The next week, him say, him have UK passport. Then the other week, him say, him no involved in a FinSac. And then 3 years ago, him say, him design FinSac. Mark Golding did it to himself. So now, you come out because after 4 years, I'm in the Prime Minister and propping up Mark Golding. You realize that nail him up and catch him up on a time up now work. You realize that the glue, when I try glue him up, it a pull out. So everybody complaining now that he himself went to Connecticut complaining about media. Which media is he talking about? Is he talking about the biggest conglomerate in the Caribbean that is controlled by his best friend? All of a sudden, his narrative is not working because it's too negative. And the people of Jamaica have moved past negativity because it is too tribal. And the people of Jamaica have moved past tribal politics. Mark Golding spent 4 years saying the Prime Minister is corrupt. And up to today, they can't point upon the evidence of the corruption. Mark Golding, another one of Mark Golding's best friend. Yes, his best friend, Comrade Seymour Panton, who was one of the main judges when the FinSac cases were going before the court, when the people who were fleeced by Mark Golding and Omar Davis were going before the court to try and get back their property. Seymour Panton and Brian Sykes were the two main judges who make sure, say, the citizens who lost their belongings did not get them back. Every case go before Brian Sykes and Seymour Panton did not come out in favor of the citizens who lost their belongings. Comrade Seymour Panton was placed on the IC to demonize Andrew Holness, and he was promised that if Mark Golding could have get Andrew Holness to call the election early from last year, when his term come to an end in February this year, Mark Golding would have extended his term so he can make some more money off of the backs of the Jamaican people. So you don't come here now after Mark Golding run around the country and know the Prime Minister don't say nothing. You don't notice that? Mark Golding demonized the Prime Minister for 4 years and the Prime Minister shut him out and don't say nothing. And all of a sudden now that somebody come out and defend the good character of the Prime Minister, una ball about media. And media this. When I don't control the media.
I can answer something now.
Yes, give him a chance. Give him a chance now. Go ahead, sir.
My time now. Answer a question. What is the job of the opposition?
The what?
What is the job of the opposition?
Surely not to pay off the media, to demonize the Prime Minister.
I'm asking you, I'm not asking what it surely is not. I'm asking you, what is it? That may I ask.
All right. So the opposition is the alternative government.
And what is their job?
Okay. Their job
Present themselves as a suitable alternative
is
to the
to
government.
present themselves as an alternative government. In other words,
Hold on, my boss.
Finish answer the question, sir.
When I take you ask a question, the answer come here, cut it off.
Like seriously? Lies and propaganda. That's not
Gaffman, what go on, General?
Get the answer. If you already
present alternative plans.
Triple X.
Alternative
Part of what we have to do, you see, sir, is to provide information to our people.
Yeah, but you already give them information.
The opposition's job or role is to present alternative policies. It also can critique the policies of the government and to show it is like a watchdog on behalf of the people of Jamaica.
Beautiful, correct? I love that definition that we gave a while ago. It was immaculate. Excuse me?
Hello, make him talk, man. Make him talk. Make Triple X.
You're the gentleman a while ago.
Go ahead, Triple X.
Oh, no. Just go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, as I said, that was immaculately done. That definition that you give was immaculately done. You're supposed to critique what it is.
You didn't only say that though. Don't just make that out.
Can I finish saying what I'm saying? Why is it that whenever I start talk, everybody?
Yeah, but you're just picking out one part, the critique part. I know you're going for that.
As me start talk, oh, you're going to know if me going to pick out 5 part or 4 part or 1 part. As me start.
Yeah, but just a caution you, but go ahead still.
No, you don't need to caution. Remember, all of it frontal loop for the developing, brother.
Give 2 minutes to finish.
It's possible for you to take a control of the persons in the box.
Oh, but the problem is you are doing the same thing just now. You are doing the same thing just now.
I'm recommending to the house that you put a time limit on each contributor.
I'm going to stop talking, you know. Because a while ago when the gentleman was on his soapbox a while ago, there was no time given it to him. There was no time consideration. There was nobody
It's your time, sir. Go ahead.
Nobody imposing.
Go ahead, sir.
Focus on what you are trying to say.
Whenever
give him a chance, man.
I am trying to speak, but I'm being constantly interrupted. And it's very off-putting. No, anyways, as I was saying,
you were doing the same thing. That's what I'm saying. You did the same thing, Triple X. Stop going like you did the same thing.
Chabi, all right, take it. No. We don't need to probably put it that way. Just probably let him come to a conclusion and then we move.
Make your point, sir. You have.
I'm willing to wait until Travis finish talk. If Travis wants to speak before me, he can go ahead.
No, man, go ahead. Make your point.
Sure.
That's all. Just go ahead.
Sure.
No, make your point. We'll do the critique after you make your point.
All right, thank you very much. Much appreciated. Now, as I'm saying now, the opposition's job, based on what the host said, is for them to critique, to come with alternatives, and to also hold the foot of the government to the fire. Correct? Correct, Mr. Host?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So based on your definition.
May I say to you, sir, before you continue, that this opposition has done none of that.
All right. That is based on your perspective and based on what it is that you have chosen. Hold on, man, my boss. Remember this, you know. When me a look up in a country, my growing up, and my grandmother always say, when she send you for sitting where you don't want to look for, you always find everything else where them not send you for. You understand? Them sending a cook to go look for egg, but you end up find mangoes, you end up find rat, you find worm because you don't want to go for the egg. No. when you are against something, you have something we call situational or proximal bias. You understand? Situational bias is when you are aligned to one set and you are more inclined to find the negative of one and to be more critical of one. See, well, like how I was just speaking a while ago, and instead of the gentleman trying to listen to what I have to say,
Yeah, but you're wasting time, people. You have to get to the
I'm not wasting time. At the point I get to my boss.
Triple, we don't need to know where you grew up.
This
Just
is literally
answer
a
now.
part of the point.
Yeah, but you tell me where you grew
This
up.
is literally a
That's
part of the
not part of
point.
the answer. We
And if you're not,
just want your answer.
my boss, you have something when one has abstract effect, and there's not only one way of communication.
Yeah, man, this is not a lesson in words.
Triple X. We got school already, Triple X. You said Mark Golding
I
and
was
shut
at the
your
school
mouth.
a while ago. I was
You said shut
a while ago.
your mouth and defend.
There's
Sell
a
Mark
lot of
Golding,
things that
Triple
the
X.
gentleman spoke that I didn't.
Triple X, sell Mark Golding. And stop complaining. Sell
I'm
Mark
not
Golding.
trying to
Tell Mark Golding.
We don't want you about egg and mangoes. Just tell us.
Triple X, what are you saying? Mark Golding is an egg and Mr. Mangoose. What are you saying?
I understand that abstract thinking, you know. I understand that
Triple
abstract
X,
thinking
is Mark Golding an
something
egg
very
or is he a
difficult for you
mangoose?
people.
What are
This
you
is not
saying?
going to work.
I understand that abstract thinking
you
is
are
difficult for you
more
people.
interested in promoting your level of
I'm not promoting my level of
no,
anything.
man,
sir.
but you don't have to let people know that you're bright. You don't have
No,
to
I'm not have to make people know that I'm bright. So you notice me I talk like a layman, not because I use a few terms and
Yes.
stuff. That not mean to me.
The point we want you to answer, sir, is where is the evidence that you're making a point about the opposition?
Evidence that the opposition is being an effective opposition. The reason why it is evident that they are being an effective opposition because all of you people here are pissing and moaning that they are attacking Andrew Wellness, and that is what the opposition is supposed to do.
Yeah, the people are doing what, sir?
Attacking
the government. Are doing what? Hold on. The people are doing what?
Attacking.
It's a colloquialism, pissing and moaning.
Listen.
Triple X,
stated,
Triple X, get your facts straight. Your friend above you when you're a golf man. A golf man come on find your ball for Mark Golding. Nobody name a ball for Andrew.
No,
Golf
that's
man a
not
ball
the
for Mark Golding.
Hold on, let that process. We will not let that process. Triple X just confirmed that an effective opposition job is to attack. Those are his words. The opposition is
That is what an effective government is supposed to do.
That's what he says. Effective opposition is attacking the prime minister. That is
you are supposed to attack the party that is in power. You're supposed to seek out ammunition against them and use it against them. To sway.
All right. So my question to you, Triple X, is this: attack and fight and whatever you want to do that. Should you do that in the absence of truth and facts?
No.
Exactly. So here's the question. No, here's the question. No. Here's the question. No, here's the question. No. Here's the question. No. Here's the question. No.
For 3 years, run around saying that he has illicitly enriched himself and he's been investigated by the IC. The IC report come and says he did not. What do you mean?
Exactly. So the point I'm making now, we are examining. No, we are examining.
And I'm glad.
No, Triple X. Here's what. Here's the thing. Now we are examining the truth, who have the truth and who have the facts. Hence, this is the reason why we are having this discussion, because it cannot be that we make up an argument without thorough and critical thinking and examination of whether or not where it falls. So therefore, we know are examining the truth and the facts and making the distinction and placing them where they belong. So don't make the assumption that because being critical is necessarily good or bad, it is relative. And therefore, we must examine what is said in criticism. Not just because you can be critical or you should be critical, mean that everything you say is going to be true. And therefore, this is where we have the issue.
Triple question. Triple.
Mark Golding. The gentleman just one talk a while ago. I'm not sure who's talking because I'm driving. So I can't look at the phone screen. But the gentleman who just spoke a while ago, I agree with everything that he said a while ago. Everything that he said was factual and to the point. Now, what you said, based on what you said, did Mark Golding come out and said Andrew Holness enriched himself illicitly.
Yes, he did.
Hold on.
Yes, Mark Golding did.
Hold on.
And no matter how you try
Did he say-
spinning.
Hold on. Did he say that or did he question it? Because there's a difference between...
Golding said.
No,
Hold on,
let him
Prime
say
Minister
Golding.
lied.
Oh, yeah, defend a man that you don't listen. You have to listen to the man.
You have to listen to Mark Golding, brother.
What did
Mark Golding came out and said that Andrew Holness,
Don't
right?
paraphrase enough.
No, hold on.
Verbatim.
Came out and said Andrew Holness, right, withdrew his money from SSL and leave Bolt and other people to suffer. You think that's a fair statement?
I think that is a statement. Where's the lie in that statement? Didn't Andrew Holness remove his money from SSL?
Leaving Bolt and other people to suffer.
All
You
right.
are suggesting that Andrew Holness
Foresight.
leave
Suggesting
Bolt.
it and stating it is something totally different, you know, sir.
Hold on. You suggesting that Andrew Holness leave Bolt and other people to suffer. You're saying he did that deliberately, brother.
Suggesting it
Is that
deliberately
your
and
statement?
stating it is two totally
Is
different.
that
the
a
foresight?
fair statement?
Me suggesting
foresight.
something and me stating something.
Triple, you have to know who you are defending.
Triple X.
You
Triple
don't
X.
know Mark Golding.
You know what
Mark
the
Golding
problem?
not there for una, brother.
Triple X. You know what the problem
You
have?
defend the devil, brother.
You know what the problem when I have you and Golf, man?
I don't
But
have a
you have
problem.
to come out now and I try to defend Mark Golding. You don't
have a problem,
I
man.
try to defend.
I don't have a problem. Just attack facts, you know, brother.
Boy, you don't know facts, Spardy. You
How
don't
many know
know
facts
facts.
and a phone?
You do not know facts.
Me I use against Uno.
What is happening to your leader now, sir, is that his lies are
No,
coming
my
out.
leader is Andrew Holness, because I'm a Jamaican. And
Bro,
the Prime Minister of Jamaica is Andrew
Your
Holness.
leader
I'm the leader of the
is
opposition.
having issues because his lies are biting him in the ass. And
What
the
lies?
reality is,
What lies did he tell?
the reality is,
What lies did the man tell, sir?
no man, he not tell a lie for you, but we
No,
must
no,
tell
me,
lie.
I ask you to state them. So
Since-
if you can educate me to them in a
Since, hold
comment
on, man.
box,
Since
me not have much sense, you know.
we're two different set of people on this panel. Yourself and Goffman are fight on a bat for Mark Golding, and
No.
we are batting for
I think
Jamaica.
all of us are the same. I think we are all Jamaicans.
Triple X, you can't
I'm
talk
born
about
at
it.
Lindsay Hospital.
Triple X.
Jamaican passport me still have.
Triple X.
And I dual citizenship.
Triple X, you can't talk me out, brother. Just listen.
You not talk
Maybe
so
if
me
you
I try
listen,
but me I try correct you.
Maybe if you listen, you will realize the demon wanna fall back. And guess what? There are more to be unraveled about him. And I hope so you hang on your head in a shame and disgrace when it starts to be unraveled. Because
But
this
people
is
don't know
the
him a
problem
defend.
Jamaica
You
has.
don't know the half hour go on yet.
This is
People
the
don't know the half
problem
hour go on.
Jamaica has.
Okay.
This man come, this white man come, and a trick, a tell lie on the black brother.
This
I
white
would
man,
rather
what is the
believe
matter
the
of
white
Jamaica?
man.
Out of many one people, correct?
Rubbish.
Out of many one people,
With
which
a
part
few
out
having
of many one
privilege.
people did they when
Rubbish.
not kill Edward Siaga?
When we are
The white man, who not going like
who are
all
killing
of a
Edward
sudden
Siaga?
want the man to be black. Mark Golding is a white man. Do you agree that Mike Golding is a white man?
So when the white man is on your side,
Triple
when the white,
X.
no, Mark
Triple
Golding is a
X, me
black
ask you
man.
a simple question,
Mark
brother.
Golding is a black
Do
man.
you agree that Mark Golding is a white man?
Mark Golding is a black man.
Yo, Mark Golding is a black man.
Yes.
You tell you, you see people like you.
What
People like
constitute?
you, no
What
Triple X.
constitute?
I know why yourself. I know why you and others like Mark Golding or Triple X. You know why?
Right.
People like yourself and those who we see come out supporting Mark Golding publicly, some of them who don't like the idea of Mark Golding, because Mark
What is the idea of Mark
never
Golding?
stand for anything. He does not stand on principle. He does not stand on morals, and he does not have a foundation in our country. And we know I go for Mark Golding because we know things say we know black brother fear do so well. And that's our problem.
So
And the white man always use you as house slaves.
Hold on,
Because you come on public platform and try to tear down your black brother for your white man. The white British plantocracy will not try to elevate over on the black brother.
Hold on, my boss. I can ask you a question. I can answer a question. So we are stating now that Mark Golding is not a black man and he is Caucasian. That's
Black
what
Mark Golding is a white man.
All right, so
You fix it up anyhow you want to fix it. Him is a white slave owner.
Hold on, my brother. Hold on, my brother.
Him is a white slave owner. Fix it
Hold on, my
however
brother.
you want to fix it.
My brother.
Make him talk.
Almost 50% of Jamaicans can trace them lineage back to slave owners. You understand me I say? Because the truth of the matter
Foresight,
is,
are you hearing me?
our bloodline has been diluted
Yeah, I'm hearing
by a
you.
slave master
I'm
over
just want to
years
ask you.
and
though.
Flex, you can't teach me nothing about my history. That
boss,
is what
man,
I'm
sir,
saying.
teach you nothing, my boss.
You
Like, tell
cannot
me
teach
talk.
me nothing about my
Alright,
history,
alright.
bro.
I am
You
not
need
trying
to be
teach.
concerned about your grandmother, your four parents, had to lay
Right.
down on the mat, the floor mat, are your farmer slave master, so that when him shit in a peel, then can go empty it in a middle
So,
of
I'm
the
gonna
night.
ask you a
You
question.
need to be concerned
So the
about
black,
that.
so the black people them in a
You
Mark
need to be
Golden
concerned
village,
about
them,
that.
the
It doesn't matter what
black
you,
purple in this lineage.
Goffman, and the others
My
of you
boss,
say.
my boss, my boss.
This
my
is
boss.
the best prime minister Jamaica ever see. And
All
yes,
right,
we
and I,
support
and, I,
him.
and I appreciate
You
your
can
views,
support the
and I
thief that
respect
is
your
called Mark
views.
Golding, who
All
is a
right, boss.
criminal. And
All
by
right,
any
my
other standard, he would be in prison in any other
All
country.
right, I can say
So
something,
you can
General.
continue to support him.
All right, thank you very much. Now, as I was saying before we get all heated and we start using personal animus and or racist epithets that we have all up against us. Before we use that, we could talk, we could be real and we could be factual. You are now proposing that the leader of the opposition of Jamaica, Mark Golding, is Caucasian. So you're saying that the persons in his lineage, the black persons in lineage, their genetics have been negated completely. That there's no black in this.
You know,
This is what you are saying, Triple X. Mark Golding is a white
Hold
man.
on, sir. Hold on, sir.
You
Hold
want
on,
to say?
sir.
Golding a white man.
Hold on, sir. Hold on, sir. Come here, put it to you. Come here, state nothing. You know, come here, say about me. I force if you know me. I just put it to you. Come here, ask you a question. Are you
People don't know the
saying
underbelly of the politics we must support. That's your problem,
He,
brother.
he knows very well.
I don't
PNP support criminality and suck your mother. That them are bad for.
Right.
They do not want law and
You
order to
just
be in
want a
Jamaica.
white man
Have you
come
heard
and
me
make
put
some
any sucking mother
appearances
They
and
don't
you
want
quick
law
to
and order in
believe say
Jamaica.
they
That's
might
the
defend your
problem.
interests. You are supporting a system,
Protect
brother.
him. Calm down,
Right?
the perspective. Foresight, calm down. Come on, ask some question.
Yeah, me calm man.
What you do? I'm not telling you now.
But you know, yeah, but you don't know where you support, brother. Utterances you
So
have.
What do we support?
What you do, you listen to what Mark Golding and say, and I believe in it. This is how them trick people all the while, and you're one of them, and you're supposed to know better to triple, right?
Hold on.
Utterances.
Foresight,
You know
Foresight,
what
if I may
action.
speak to you
And
directly.
it's at the surface
Foresight.
level thinking that
Foresight.
put us at a disadvantage all the time.
Foresight, hold on,
Support Mark Golding. You don't know we soon see.
Foresight. Protecting J. Hold on, Foresight. Yes, Foresight. Yes, there's something more talk to you about. You said that he is believing what Mark Golding is saying, and I want to say to you that he doesn't believe in what Mark Golding is saying. Triple X is speaking how he's speaking and talking how he's talking because of the benefit that derives from it. We know
What benefit?
Triple X, and you may talk to big man. Keep quiet when I hear your turn. You say something.
No, boy, you can't just tell lie, promise, sir.
Triple X, be quiet. Triple X, be quiet, man, and you may talk to brother.
All right, daddy.
You may talk to. Good.
Yes, my father.
Foresight.
Yeah,
Triple
go
X
ahead.
talk like him talk because what as the benefit he is seeking. Yeah, I've been listening to Triple X for a while now, and Triple X grows and moan and complain is that he can't afford this and he can't afford that, and Jamaican can't afford this and can't afford that. As
Me
if
say me can't
he
afford.
doesn't the same.
Me say me can't afford.
No, that no man, no, but you come out here and portray yourself to be so
Well,
intelligent, you can't understand when you never hear people
Me
you're
say me
spoken
can't
to.
afford. Me say
Triple
me
X.
can't afford. That you just say a while ago.
Speak when you're spoken to. It's simple.
Wow.
Foresight.
Race
If I may
dark,
speak to you
general.
again.
It's kind of like a race dark. I like have a little master complex.
Foresight, if I may
Yeah,
speak.
me listen, man. Go ahead.
You know why?
Socrates taught us that when the
Enough of these people in our best of them now, you know.
listen in
They make more
name
money
calling.
on that JLP than any other government, you know.
No
Than any other
surprise.
time. Right?
I have a
They
question
are
for
doing
Triple.
better now in life
Tell me
and they are
something.
taking advantage
Do you
of the
embrace-
opportunities and they're complaining. But go ahead.
Yeah, no. Do you embrace the African side of you? Do you embrace your African heritage?
Embrace me, right?
Well, no, man. I'm asking you that question, Triple. Do you embrace your African heritage?
Of course I do.
You know, see how slave.
No, man. Could you explain us how do you demonstrate that on a daily basis and how it manifests itself in your political choice?
How it manifests myself in a political choice.
Yes.
How it manifests is I look out for everybody in my space. I don't believe in individualism. I don't believe in just because I am doing good, I should be satisfied with the fact that I am doing good. I believe in every single person that is of this country should be uplifted, uplifted all of my black brothers and sisters, whether them have Chinese, not them descent, whether them have European.
No.
whether them have-
And this government has been doing far more to spread that wealth. So how you gonna support the government here?
No. The man ask me, man. The birthplace of
I don't want to
hold
read it.
on, sir. The birthplace of all man come from Africa. Not because of some persons mutations, where they mutate for them become demelanated. That does not mean that they are not human beings as well. You understand me, I say? And for you to come here and say, okay, you are only going to measure Jamaicans by the blackness of them skin. You tell me, say the other Jamaicans, other Caucasian Jamaicans are Jamaicans that are of Asian descent, are Jamaicans here who recognize them.
Yeah, no, Triple. We don't respect you. Not just stretch it.
We are allowed Triple.
Context.
We are allowed
Put it into
Triple.
context.
We are allowed Triple
Put
to
it
go
into
down
context and
road when
culture.
no need for go down. All we are talking about
No, precisely. No, but no. I want you to make the point.
Brother is a racist, brother.
Put
You
it
know,
into context and culture. That chain.
you look close enough. Triple X,
That man
you look
was
close enough
was chained.
to Big
That
Stone.
man was chained.
Who was chained on a stage in front of national TV.
Stage.
Yeah, that's how we can
How do you think that honor your heritage?
Here?
How
do you think that honor your heritage? Yeah.
A man chained on your black brother neck for national TV.
How do you think that honor your heritage, Triple X?
And if you know
that's the
your
point I want to
heritage,
ask you.
that's how they use
How that honor your heritage? How do you think your ancestors feel about that act where Mark Golden did?
So them
What did Mark Golden did? What did Mark Golden do?
The man in chain on stage to demonstrate a point. I'm saying, how do you think your ancestors feel about that?
Did not hear anybody to demonstrate.
No. I didn't say. Well, listen to yourself. Listen to me, man. I didn't say chain. Listen to me. No. Sir. So when I'm talking to you, you need to listen. It's a skill. Triple X listening is a skill. I said the incident with it man chained on stage was a demonstration of making a political point. I'm saying to you, how do you think our ancestors feel about that?
What was the political point?
You hear him say it was
I think you're a waste of time, man. Go back. What school you graduate from? You can't go chasing her. You're a waste of time. I'm finished with you. You're a waste of time. You're a waste of time. You're a total waste of time. You're a waste of time, man. You need to get off, man. I can't bother with you.
All right. Tell me when
you're going around the question when I'm asking a specific question, sir.
Why does Triple X support Mark Golden? Mark Golden orchestrated one of the biggest robbery from 44,000 Jamaicans. Mark Golden live on Farrington Drive, and the house man living in was a Finsack house. Okay? Triple X got Walmart in America got thief. A thief a follow thief. Why we can't see? That's why they love Mark Golden. The biggest robbery perpetrated from Black Jamaica was done by Mark Golden. And Triple X got a Farrington thief. No, Triple X defend Mark Golden. It's criminality.
Brother. It cannot be Mark Golden because the facts
are don't notice the notice the people that follow Mark Golden. Be a criminal.
All right, protecting JA. Protecting JA. Me can ask you a question.
Are you gonna deny that you got Walmart got thief?
Since that's how you eat.
You're gonna deny you got Walmart got thief, crab leg.
Yeah. Walmart got thief, nothing, come on for the white people.
Walmart got thief, nothing yet, sir.
No, man.
You know, nothing to do with that, man.
Sir, I never got there got thief anything yet, sir.
That's not necessary.
You understand me? I say,
necessary at all. And brother, even
you have to understand. Remember, say people with low IQ, people who lack emotion and intellectual intelligence, you know, them always resort to personal attacks against people. I have not done any personal attacks against people.
Answer one question.
Stay with the point.
What is it that this government is doing now that the PNP have done better?
Ask the question again. I just come back to the camera. Go on again. Yes.
What is this? What is it now that this government is doing that the PNP have done better?
What is it that PNP has done?
This government is now doing that the PNP has done.
Provided an opportunity for the middle class of Jamaica to grow.
Where is here?
In every aspect.
Hey, Triple X, you're a big clown.
Aspect.
Tell me, say that Suarez brother at Circus of Jamaica. You're a big clown.
If every single
explain it out to no. Hold on. Big clown. Never hear the mic. Short thing. Let me just give you a piece of stats because it's not feelings real. 2016 poverty was 21%. Right?
Under the Jamaica Labour Party, wealth disparity, that is the difference between, that is the distance of wealth between impoverished and enriched has widened in Jamaica substantially.
No, no,
under
that's
the Jamaica
nonsense.
Labour
No,
Party,
no, no, no.
housing. Hold on,
No, no, that's nonsense.
Let me talk my partner. You know. Under the Jamaica Labour Party, it has been.
I don't talk your part to play.
No. Hold on, Chuck.
Hold on. Mute no fellow people when they attack. I want to go on here, so.
No, man.
If you want me come off, tell me to come off, you know.
No. Hold on.
We have more on a platform, you know.
I will not talk
No,
to
you are doing on a platform.
I be your worthlessness here. You see worthlessness of all PNP. You don't realize what in a society. You and your entourage, you and your comrades friend them fighting for the PNP come back in a power. So you can get fair Jamaica loose and Lego all about the place.
Loose and Lego? You sound like somebody loose and Lego right now.
Brother,
I know. Foresight.
Has the PNP provided more jobs, triplets? Unemployment is the lowest it has ever been, right?
Underemployment
is the government who provides more jobs.
Underemployment has been the highest it has ever been.
Criminal instinct it's powerful, you know. No criminal instinct powerful.
You see the PNP provide more
unemployment underemployment. And if you educate yourself more and stop
the PNP provided more opportunities.
Then you don't
Triplets,
understand.
quiet, triplets, quiet. Because PNP narrative is only call center jobs. When call center only exists under PNP, see? The next thing again now, they say they want to turn BPO, of course every day, you know, into the main supplier of job in Jamaica. PNP say that. So when you come at about underemployment, we just laugh.
No, nobody say it.
We just laugh.
Foresight.
Yeah.
I don't think we are benefiting anymore from this conversation. I think probably we should end it because one of the challenge here is that there is misinformation. Hold on, no. Where there is misinformation, sir.
I'll take my leave. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.
Yeah, no, there's no further benefit here. There's no further.
Triplex has no moral authority to come and speak to us and tell us what direction Jamaica should go in. What has Triplex done in his life? Please, somebody explain to me. Because we're going to take leadership and direction from somebody like Triplex. Somebody, please tell me what Triplex has done in his life.
Don't allow him to get away with saying that the PNP has provided more opportunities, brother.
One Foresight. So, for the purpose of the people who are listening, Foresight, read out the list. Just go through it for Foresight. What right now before we move on to the next topic? Go on through it right now for the purpose
I don't know. Our government, right? We are now at an all-time low with unemployment, 3.5%, right? But here is it that Triplex is saying that the PNP provided more opportunities for people, right? Poverty rate in 2016 was 21%. It went down to 11% just before COVID, went up back after COVID, and now it's down to 12.3% or thereabout. So when the PNP come and talk about poverty, the facts are not there to support them that less people are poor under the PNP. Poverty was higher under the PNP. We need to make that clear to them, right? There are more youths working today than any other time in Jamaica since independence, right? PNP used to brag about house and car. There are more youths and more people who are able to own cars today. Almost triple the numbers since 2016. So what you see is PNP is led by this narrative that PNP is for the poor and PNP do more for the poor. It's all in their minds because they are brainwashed to think like that. The facts doesn't support it. And we need to make that clear to them. And that is why, before him jump off, that is why I asked him that question. Because me know it's a feelings reasoning him come with. If him go to the factual evidence, he cannot provide any to support what him say. We need to start hit them with the facts. Anytime them come with them feelings reasoning, we need to go back to the facts and say, what evidence do you have to support what you just say? Them cannot come up with any. No new tax in 8 years. Have we ever gone 3 years under PNP government without a new tax being imposed? The car dealer them used to ball. This is the government
Yeah,
that
owner used to ball four
from
side.
16.5 to 15%.
Yeah,
If you talk
owner
about
used to
small
ball.
business and hustlers, it's 25,000, over 23,000 new businesses that were
Foresight.
registered last year, 2024.
You're right
Foresight.
in what you're saying,
Foresight.
but
Hold on the foresight. Hold on the
why the
foresight.
personal
Pause, yes,
attack
sir.
and triple? That never necessary. Everything you was saying was correct.
Because he was
When
getting
the guys
personal,
attacked
and he's lying.
him and calling
No,
If I
thief
insult
and
her,
all that.
he's
Not
trying to
necessary.
insult her intelligence.
Is it be hold
Gary,
on now?
Gary,
Being
what
a
was Triple X
supporter,
saying?
being a
He's trying to
JLP
insult
supporter
her
is all
intelligence, Gary.
good. No, but we
Gary,
don't go about
Gary.
it. I was listening
Gary,
to it.
no,
You know,
I
leave her alone.
understand what you're saying, Gary, but may I tell you, so he's trying to insult her intelligence.
Gary, clarify
Not
what
necessarily. I
What
never
about
hear
Triple
that.
X said that was correct?
Okay, hear this now, Gary. Hold on, let me ask
I'm
you
not
something.
saying
Foresight.
you guys
Gary,
are
hold on,
right
hold on, Gary. Hear this, hear
about
this,
you know
Gary. Me
Mark
talk about
Golden and
Triple X
everything,
real.
but you can't when I attack the man for that never necessary. Never necessary at all.
I never
People,
attacked
you see,
Why
a
hold on,
debate, a
Gary,
sensible
Gary.
debate among educated people must hold that statue. You cannot sink below the line and then expect to maintain that level of respect. Because once you start get personal and disrespectful, then
Yeah, that's correct.
all,
That's correct.
you know, respect gone through the window. You could
But did he say
listen,
that
we
was
can
correct,
back,
though, Gary?
you can beat him on so many other points, just like you were doing. You pointed out facts and he couldn't counteract. Just continue the same way. You know, but the attack was a bit distasteful, man. You can't do better than that. It sound like you have a little bit of sense. But you don't have to go answer.
All right, Gary, take your point. But what did Triple X point out though that you said he was talking the truth? I don't know.
Well, whether we agree or disagree about the things that he's saying, you understand? Each person, as an individual, as a voter, and as a Jamaican, has the right to choose and see things from their own perspective. We can't take that away from people.
Yeah, but that
And
perspective,
some of us,
that perspective must be
way
put
out,
on test,
right?
though,
Gary,
and must be measured against the facts.
Gary, let me ask you something.
Right?
Because you believe something, does that make it a fact?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
But at the same time, we need to exercise the quorum. We can't just attack people,
And I agree with you, Gary.
and stuff like that. No,
I agree
never
with
nice.
you.
And Mark Golden. And the next thing I find distasteful, and I don't know why Jamaican people want to do this all the time. It's the word. Listen, you notice that Andrew Holiness and the rest of except for a few members of the JLP, attack Mark Golden's ethnicity. It's just a few people in the party do it because it's so
Sorry, Gary. Did Andrew Holness
on an
attack
international
his,
level?
No, hold on. Did Andrew Holness attack Golden's ethnicity?
That's what I'm saying. He's one who he never does it.
Okay.
Gary,
And there's a reason
Gary,
for that.
I have to
Because
engage you
it's
on this point,
not
Gary. Hold on.
becoming of a prime minister to do
Gary,
that.
Gary, I have to engage on this
Go.
point. Foresight, hold on, Foresight. I'm going to jump off, but I have to engage Gary on this last point. Stating that it is distasteful and you know, unstatesmanlike to attack Mark Golden's ethnicity. Internationally, that don't work. I hear you, Gary. Let me ask you this. So attacking someone's sexuality, is that tasteful and is that statesmanlike?
No, neither personal.
And Mark Golden has done that
necessary.
repeatedly. Call him out. He has done it repeatedly. Call him out. Call him out now, Gary.
To who?
You come
I never
to me.
heard that.
He has done it to Terry Long and he has done it to Rowe. He has done
You
it
know
to
what?
Terry Long and he has done it to Rowe.
I am
Come
not
on.
saying, I will
Come
not
on,
say
call
that,
him now.
you know, I've never heard it. I've never heard it.
Yeah,
But what
this-
I've heard,
I'm out.
what I
Yeah.
have heard loud and clear, what the whole world hear is what's his name from the JLP and them attacking Golding in that way. There's so many other ways to beat Golding. Golding is the most politically inept candidate vying for the office. You understand? He has not brought anything of substance to even campaign on. So to beat him is the easiest thing. And you don't have to do anything. Just continue doing what he's doing and he's beaten. But guess what? All of us are Jamaicans. No matter what, all of us are Jamaicans. Mark Golding, well, it's up in the air now. People are guessing whether he was born in Jamaica or not. He was schooled in Jamaica. His
So where
parents,
from somewhere
his
are
parents,
who is his
prominent people in Jamaica.
You ever met one of them classmates? You ever met one of them classmates? You ever see one of them come out and go to school with him?
Bridget, how much school you going in your life?
Hello.
You remember everybody, everybody
willing.
From school I go come.
Henry, you want me to tell you the disappointment I have? As a Pan-Africanist, the disappointment I have is we are so willing. And you see, as me tell you, it was a period of social engineering from the 1930s to now that have caused this. So I understand. We were socially engineered to just accept everything the Caucasian say. I want to know, like when I say white. To accept what the Caucasian say. But everything that the black man say, we have to question.
You have to prove them. Yeah, exactly.
You have to prove everything.
Just like where Andrew getting money from.
The information I got coming up to the weekend, Mark Golding have over 50 bank accounts. Nobody no business with that, And nothing is illegal. Nothing wrong with that because he's a businessman. But everybody jump on Andrew Holness over 28 bank account, which is legal. And it's not even 28 active bank account. We are so willing to just everything come out of the white man because we were socially engineered to see the white man as purity.
No,
and we don't understand that.
I will never buy that argument.
We don't
no, that's
understand.
No, it's not something that you're going to agree with, Gary.
It's not something you have to agree with, bro.
You're consciously aware of it.
I have spent time studying this crap to understand what is happening to us.
It's mind-boggling, man.
How simple your mind will have to be to accept that. Huh?
That's what
simplistic.
And we even have an opposition. We have an opposition in Jamaica.
No,
it's not even representative of 85%
no, we'll say that my mind is simplistic because I know myself as a black man. And I will say that your mind is confused because you do not understand yourself as a black man. And that is both our different opinions, and that should be okay. Don't be.
The thing is this, we are so confused. We are all confused. You know why we are all confused?
Don't beat me down because I have an opinion,
each
bro.
black person thinks that, okay, it is okay. It is the right thing to do to uplift yourself. You have to put down somebody else. That makes no sense. Oh, that makes sense.
I don't need to uplift myself by speaking the truth. And you cannot tell me that I am wrong doing something, and neither will I tell you that you're wrong. But what I will tell you is, no man who stole from my own and has no conscience, a man who thief from my own and go home to the house when thief every night and have no conscience and he cannot lead me. And that's my position. It's my personal position. I'm not telling you to believe that. I'm not telling you to believe that, bro.
That is fine. There is no bigger supporter of Andrew Holness than I am. But we have to get off of this racist.
I am a supporter.
No, it's not racist.
But
I am because remember put some clarification on it. Remember put some clarification on it.
These people started the Jamaican political system, and they were white people. So when we come up now and persecute people for based on color, we are playing a silly game.
Let me address it. See? Let me respond to it real quick. See? Yes, Jamaica was a British colony, all right? And we declared independence in 1962. We are taking the shackles off our way. See? And in taking off the shackles, yes, your motto is out of many, one people. But at the same time, majority of us are of African descent. And just like how we cannot go to England and go tell them how to run their country or tea from England, same way they're not supposed to come to Jamaica in a 2025 and still a rubber blind. We're not that set up imbecile. We still are going to sit down in a 2025 and allow Europeans to come to Jamaica and take a idiot. And that is what the issue is. It's not about just race.
You have to understand.
Gary, I take personal
your
offense.
bargaining power. Hold on, my friend. Let me just say something there. You have to understand your leverage. You understand, as a country, what is your leverage? What is your bargaining chip? What is it that you have that place you on top in the top of the line.
My blackness, Gary.
In the world. What you gonna bargain with?
My color.
You can't bargain with
My
blackness. That
ethnicity.
never work. No way.
It's
Now,
my
which part in that
ethnicity.
history
No,
of us that
my
work, my brother?
ethnicity is my bargain. And
That
therefore,
can't. That take a sale.
and therefore, I am not selling anything. I'm not selling anything, Gary. I am supporting my black leader. I'm not selling anything.
Yeah, but
Ethnicity is
that's
my
what I'm
bargaining
saying.
chip.
I'm answering the other question.
My
We
ethnicity
as
is
a
my
people-
bargaining chip.
What you go bargain?
Gary,
with?
do you think
you
a
have to
black man would
bargain
have the
with
same
intellectual
Gary,
stuff?
Gary,
Gary.
You understand with physical
Gary,
stuff?
Gary,
You
and
can
don't
go,
put this
Gary,
racist
Gary,
thing.
you can support the white man. My bargaining chip is I'm supporting my future by supporting my black leader. I'm a Pan-Africanist and I know myself. I know from whence I came and I know where I'm going.
The
Okay?
Pan-Africanism
And that's me.
thing, let me tell you something. I've never seen any winners come out of that.
No, I'm
Okay?
winning.
Go back in that.
I am
You
winning.
go back in that because no, listen to me. Listen
If
to
I
me.
get
Even
me
to
say
this
this
day,
Are you saying? Are you saying?
me never seen no winners come out of that,
Gary,
brother.
yo,
Tell
are
me
you
who are
saying
we
that
out of that.
Marcus Garvey-
Please,
Marcus
tell me
Garvey,
who are we out of that.
Are you saying
What?
that Marcus
You
Garvey?
can't diss Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey, the
But Marcus
father
Garvey,
of
what did to Marcus
Pan-Africanism.
Garvey, brother?
So,
What did to Marcus Garvey?
Marcus Garvey, the
And who
father
helped
of
do that?
Pan-Africanism.
And who helped do that? And who helped send Marcus
helped do
Garvey
that? Who
a
helped
prison?
run Marcus
Them
Garvey
own
out of
people, them
Jamaica?
son up in a
The
court
same
and
own
testify
people,
against him, brother.
The same
Eh?
PMP run Marcus Garvey out of Jamaica. When his body was supposed to come back to be buried, the same PMP opposed it.
That's not what that was not the destruction
Gary,
of Marcus
hold on
Garvey.
now,
After
hold
I'm
on
dead,
now,
that
hold
was
on
not
now.
the destruction of
No
Marcus
matter if
Garvey.
him dead, he fought for
But I'm
something
just
that
saying,
today lives on.
today, this era, this election, and this political climate in Jamaica. You understand? We
I
have
will not
Golden.
join.
And yes, he's
Slave
mixed.
master. I will
whatever.
stay in the cabin with the slaves.
We have to stay
Yeah.
off
Find the
that,
slave master,
that
brother.
point they
Yeah,
kinda
man.
redundant.
We're not going to throw national hero Marcus Garvey for no.
And a point of
Them back
order.
at them.
What are the protecting?
They are
Gary,
not supposed to man
A
to them,
point
and
of
I'm
Gary.
order,
happy.
Mr. Speaker. A point of order. A point of order, Mr. Speaker. It was one man and one party that fought for the independence of Jamaica. It was Alexander Clark and the Jamaica Labour Party that fought for independence. It was the PMP who wanted Caribbean Federation. It was them who did not want Jamaica to leave the idea of the federation.
Nobody fought for independence
And
for Jamaica. sir.
Alexander Bustamante fought tooth and nail and told them that, listen me, we want to be independent by ourselves.
No,
We need to
you got it
study and
wrong.
understand our history.
You got
He
it-
fought
you got
for
it so
independence. And he did
You
not
got
get
it
any
so
credit
wrong.
for it. No, you are
You
wrong.
got it so
And you don't
wrong.
even know yourself.
You got
You're
it
fighting
so
me.
wrong. You need to
I am
go
a black
back
man
in
and you're
history
fighting
and
me over
look
my
it up.
goal.
You
don't
say,
know yourself.
you're swinging this black hammer, and you're swinging it
Well,
so
the black hammer
blindly.
lick
You're
you?
hitting your own self in the
Boss,
forehead
the
with
black
it.
hammer lick your boss.
Eh? You just swing it. I am
I am a proud
Listen,
black
brother,
man.
That don't mean nothing in the
I
world,
am a
man.
proud black man, bro. Me proud.
That don't mean nothing to you,
So
but
if you
just
want to
you and,
bleach,
you
then
and
you can go
your
on, me
people in your
proud.
household, brother.
But
That don't mean nothing to
protecting.
nobody.
Do you
That don't
know
mean
say-
nothing to nobody.
It's only black nations don't concern about which race lead the country. What would be the chance of a black man vying for the leadership of China?
What is the chance in England?
What would be the chance of a black man vying for leadership in England?
Gary is not even concerned that man
What
going
would be the
went to
chance
England
of a
to campaign in
Chinaman
Hurricane
vying
of Jamaica.
for leadership in an Arab country?
Not even concerned.
Zero.
That is irrelevant.
Why is it
Zero
only black
percent.
countries that
That's the
when it
chance,
comes to
zero.
leadership, that's a race doesn't matter? I want to ask you that.
Anytime
Right?
it come about, anytime it's time for the black man to lead, everything wrong. But when
Everything
it's time
wrong.
for the white man
Why
to come
why
take
all the
over,
black nations
nothing is
open
wrong
up
with
to
it.
any other race leading
Nothing is
them?
wrong with it.
But
When
every
the black
other
man
nation,
Why?
lead, you cut
Right?
him down.
is
Why
concerned
everything
about
about race
the
and not
leadership.
qualification?
the Chinese
Jamaica has
think
been
that
that
they should be led by
country
a
that
Chinese.
is
The Japanese think they should
that
be led by a
has
Chinese.
existed beyond racial
I stand
boundaries.
with the black
Who
man.
leads Singapore?
Andrew
And that
Michael
is fine, my
Holness.
friend. That
Who
is
leads
fine. Me
Black
too. I
Jamaica?
started with Andrew Michael Wellness too.
I
But
stand
you
with
understand?
black
Don't get me
Jamaica.
wrong.
No,
But I'm
Gary,
just
that's not the
saying,
question.
why
The question
we
is,
beating
why
this
are we
racial thing?
triplets,
It's just
fliplets,
ridiculous. It's redundant.
triplets? Anybody want a problem with that? Them go somewhere, go chuck up. I stand with black Jamaica. I'm a black man time again. A black man time now. Me no busy when nobody want to say, I support Andrew Michael Holness.
He's the best prime minister Jamaica have ever seen. And Mark Golding will not be allowed to unchallengedly lie to the Jamaican people. He's a crook. And anybody who follow him is a crook. You don't know what to say, I be a thief and criminal follow Mark Golding. Everybody got jail. They're on platform with Mark Golding. Everybody come out of prison, they're on platform. And everybody have a problem just because me remind the Jamaican people such Triple X guy Florida got thief crab leg. What is your issue?
Yeah, you don't have to do that.
What? You can't tell me what to do, bro.
I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but I say you never had to do that.
Well,
that wasn't necessary.
Me hope you're not thief nothing because me find out me I tell them to. Sorry.
So wait, hold on. Remember saying that go both ways, brother. Oh, we don't know where you thief and what you do. We don't know what adversity you committed in a year time.
Well, that's true.
We
You
can
find out you can talk to me, not a problem with that.
You know that, man. Come on, that's why we have to refrain from that. Do you understand? That's why we have to refrain from that kind of language.
Gary, seriously though, my position is not to or what my position is as a nationalist and as a patriot. It is political warfare, and I come out strong for what I support. I support the leader.
That is all good and well, my friend. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're supposed to do.
And that's what I am doing here. And guess what? It is not Triple X's first rodeo, you know. So if you come here and I first time you hear him, we have been there before. And the only way to get Triple X,
somebody that I follow, you know, I don't follow everybody.
Okay.
You know, and I don't listen to everybody. I don't give everybody that time.
No, anything you say, man,
because a lot of people are wasting time.
You must be able to substantiate the facts, brother. You can't just come
this
and say
that is true too.
This government is hands down the best government Jamaica ever see. And I am going to, this is political war. It is a debate, and the debate is very fierce. And I'm going to enter any debate to highlight that this government is the best government.
And you know what funny
right
to
there.
protect
You're right,
you
you know.
You find experience something so clear, it's so hard for me to see. Because it's so clear, but it's so hard for me to see. So when they're coming, some of them are know better than what them are saying. You know? It's just the PNP in them, you know. You think them don't know so the government.
Triple X, first time I tell her Triple X never believe what I say.
But even Damian Crawford, I support.
But they are more interested in getting the PNP in power than to see Jamaica do well. Right?
Because a lot of people are romanticized with the whole Michael Manley thing. You have to understand, it was charisma that put Michael Manley on the top of the voters list. You understand, amongst regular Jamaican. Yeah, he has committed the most, you know, the most severe political blunders in history. Because when he took office, the country was growing at a phenomenal rate. And by the time he left office, the country was in shambles. Yet still, because of the fact that he used to walk into communities, shake hands, say nice things, kiss babies, and always seems to have the poor interest at heart. People of Jamaica who were predominantly poor at the time fell in love with that. This is our leader. This is our guy. He's speaking up for us. And they're still in love with that figure. And children of those people and grandchildren of those same people are still in love with that figure. And that's the only thing that the PNP has going for it, because if it's performance, we see they have the country for 18 years plus and, you know, negative growth.
But Mark, now, not that.
What if I tell you,
Gary, not the symbol of Michael Manley? That's a sad thing. He have nothing in common with Michael Manley. Michael Manley was a good leader.
What if I tell you, Gary?
We're due to Caesar. May I give to Caesar? Michael Manley was a good leader. But the difference with the PNP party has not have a replacement leader like Michael Manley, and that is their biggest issue.
I am going to spend the next 10 years cutting that love affair that the people of Jamaica had with Michael Manley. When I'm done in the next years, when people mention Michael Manley, they are going to mention him with scorn.
No, you can't do that.
I don't think that's possible now.
Yeah,
In order for Jamaica
to move you're being a party loyalist if you're gonna say that.
No, in order for
loyalty,
Jamaica to move
your
forward.
loyalty, as like me, my loyalty is for Jamaica and the Jamaican people.
My loyalty is for Jamaica,
See?
but we have to understand
the betterment
tie.
of Jamaica, not for a political party. Because
as a Pan-Africanist, so here we go now.
Here is my idea. Here is my idea.
Here we go now. Hold on.
Let me explain why I said that. The love affair that Jamaicans have had with Michael Manley and the PMP, in extension the PMP, have not benefited Jamaica. And I realize at this point that because of that love affair that still is entrained with the PMP, it seems as if the Jamaican people would readily welcome the PMP again, even though the Michael Manley effect as it relates to that leadership and that charisma that he brought to the party and to the political space, even though it doesn't exist anymore. But for the love of the PMP, because the Michael Manley drew people to the PMP, it still exists. Yeah. My mission is to reduce the impact of that. Because if we don't do that, we will always come to this crossroads where we have one best in front of us and one worse, but the people might consider to give a chance to the worst. Can you imagine in Jamaica's politics? We're talking in 2025 about giving a man a chance. Where this foolishness come from? What kind of chance?
But you can't attack Michael Manley's legacy. You can't attack Michael Manley's legacy because
as a Pan-Africanist himself,
I'm not attacking. No, you're not getting what I say.
You say you go for his legacy.
No, I did not say legacy. Person. I'm saying the love of fear where people have with him, I cut it down. I'm not
but you say you go for his legacy.
Yeah, but how do I attack a legacy that doesn't exist?
The legacy exists in its actions as far as putting black people. Hold on, man. Putting black people.
Black nationalism
at the forefront. Pan-Africanism and
Pan-Africanism, black nationalism
in South Africa. Remember that Michael Manley was on the forefront of this. He put black people in the Caribbean
same thing with
at the forefront of all of that. You understand?
It's the same thing with It's the same thing, Ketchuno. Because if you were to point out one of Michael Manley do, him never do it. When Michael Manley said no bar standard day again, he only said no bar standard day again, but the bar standard act was passed by Bustamante. When him say equal pay for women, that's all him say was saying it.
So what you say about the sanctions for South Africa?
What did he do? Equal black nationalism was done by Bustamante. What did Michael talk about? He talked about propping up backside. But the backside, the introduction of backside to Jamaica was done under the Jamaica Labour Party. So what we have had, along with the romanticization of the Manley effect with Jamaica, what we have had, these people renaming stuff and repackaging it and representing it as their own. So what legacy are you going to point to? Carmichael now none.
The man have a whole lot. The man have a whole lot, but you have to argue differently. It's going to be an endless debate. You understand? But as we say now, me is a man where, you see, if somebody do something good, I care if
anything.
Name one.
We cannot say that.
That's why
we cannot say that, my friend. That would be.
But no, I want to give it to him. I want to give it to him. So name one away him do. Just name one.
Okay.
Please.
It was the man where all sanction, the first country in the world for all sanction against apartheid South Africa called Mandela in a prison. All right?
That's right.
And here Cuba in sending in training foot soldier for go Angola go help fight the South African them. See? So when you talk about what man do greatness. So when you talk about Pan-Africanism.
Listen, we can't take away that from, but he made some mistakes.
You can't criticize Michael Manley. That man has done his deed.
You know, don't talk
not only for Jamaica, but for black people around the
training
world.
of soldiers. Kind of just Angola, then they go. 2,500 of them come back to Jamaica. And presently, some of them are alive in Jamaica, controlling different parts of the country. Them call them the Brigadista. They are part of the movement, which is a sleeping cell in Jamaica. But you know, don't talk about that.
Listen, Listen, we
Oh,
are
you want to
talking
talk
about
about
free Mandela. You are talking about something different right now.
Oh, yeah,
See?
talk about Free Mandela.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
But
listen,
to
there
me,
were a
come
lot
on,
of
Really
man.
Free
things,
Yeah,
man.
Mandela.
yeah,
There were
you're
a
gonna
lot
bring
of
up
things.
a
There's a lot.
conspiracy now.
He
Did
did things. You
Siaga
can't say no,
did
do not.
Siaga not participate in the fight against
No,
apartheid South Africa?
no,
Oh, he
no,
didn't.
no.
Okay.
Siaga did not do anything
Okay. All
when
right.
it come on to that. All right.
No, that
So,
was
but
that
we're
was
gonna
a
tell us something
subject that
still.
Siaga was
You see,
smart enough
where you do,
not to
where
get
you do
involved
party
because
land.
it didn't put Jamaica in a favorable position in the rest of the world, and we are highly dependent on other countries to survive, and that is the blunder that Michael Manley made. There was nothing wrong in going against South Africa and being a Pan-Africanist and stuff like that. But when you decide in the middle of a Cold War, you're gonna take side with Russia and entertain Cuba, when most of your supplies and everything, your food come from America, what are you
At
doing?
that time, most of our food did
You're
not come from
choosing.
America. It
You're
was
choosing
oil.
the enemy.
No,
You're
no. It
choosing
was
Hold
the
on,
enemy.
hold on there, guys.
Most of our food were
Hold on,
locally
man.
produced.
Hold
And
on
it
there.
shall come.
July 18, 1987.
Mm.
Prime Minister Edward Siaga criticized Britain's policies towards South Africa's abhorrent apartheid regime. Saturday, he told Margaret Thatcher that their countries could help solve racial strife in South Africa with constructive dialogue.
But that's like 10, 15 years after, though.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Me ask if in part
87, yeah, you remember Michael took it up from in the 70s.
Yeah, but
When by the time Siaga came into power in the 80s, he took it up. Then that time he was
but me ask if
already
he
in power.
participated and you say no, that me ask him.
Not early, not early on before, not during the Michael Manley era. You know, back then Siaga didn't touch that because it was not necessary. We saw what happened. You understand? And it happened for a reason.
Gary, I heard you make a speech and I want to take you back there, right? You say, what are we showcasing? When you were asked about leaders and racism and all those questions, you asked us, what are we showcasing? So I'm asking you now, if we don't have a white man as our leader, we cannot, if we have a prime minister as our leader, we can't showcase nothing. It have to be a white man. That's what we can showcase on the world stage.
I didn't say that. I
That's
never
what you,
even
that's what you,
like that.
bro. I heard you ask the question.
Well, what was the context of that statement?
Leadership.
Sir? What were we talking about?
The context were pertaining to leadership and racism.
So let me ask you a question.
So, no, I'm not finish what I'm saying, brother. I'm not.
I say what you have to say.
May I put it to you? You, Gary, said, what are we showcasing? That means to me, what the question what you pose means. If we have Mark Golding as a white leader, then we're gonna have more to showcase on the world stage. But if we have Andrew as a black man, we don't have nothing to showcase, and that is wrong.
Completely wrong. You know,
yeah, that is,
you took my words out of context, bro, sir. I said when you attack is ethnicity.
No,
as a Jamaican,
no,
when you
I'm not talking
about ethnicity as a Jamaican, what are we showcasing?
No, bro.
So Jamaican people, Jamaican have Jamaican white, Jamaican white, Chinese, Indian, all of we, and all of we are Jamaican. Same way, my brother.
I'm not.
You know much. You know different from me because me might be mixed with some other race.
Here, what I say, man. Just listen what I say. I mean, listen what you're saying, brother. We were talking about Pan-African. And you say we feel. What are we showcasing? So we are trying to show the panel, say, if you have a white man as your prime minister, my general, you will have more talk out in the world. And that you are saying, brother. Come here, break it down in a Jamaican style, what you say. Come here, listen to you break
it down wrong, my
friend. Bro, but that you say. That you
never imply nothing like that,
bro. That's
I
what
could never imply nothing like that. When nobody no admire Andrew in this word on me. Come on, bro. What are you saying?
Just listen what I'm saying, bro. That's what you said.
Yeah, listen, yo, but
you make a mistake, then so I correct you.
Well, if that's what you get from my statement, I apologize, but that wasn't the intention.
Gary, you know what we need to showcase? We need to showcase a good economy like what the Prime Minister tried to. It's when you have that to showcase to the world, virgin. Them can't stop you whether you're black or you're purple or you're pink or whatsoever. It doesn't take a white man alone just to build an economy. The man with the brain. You understand?
I agree.
So if we show a good economy on the world stage, then we will be well represented. See? The next thing I'm going to try to tell you again. Did you know that it was not Michael Manley, his father, what, Norman Manley? Did you know that it was in 1938 when the PNP were formed? Did you know that it was formed against Marcus Garvey to get rid of Marcus Garvey? Yes or no?
That's not true.
Oh, you mean that's not true? Marcus Garvey have to run away.
There's no truth in that.
Marcus Garvey have to run away, bro.
There's no truth in that, man.
Do your research.
Listen,
just do
listen,
your
we have to go back. Listen to me now. We can't just start throwing.
Did you know that as Premier of
things
Jamaica in 1956, Norman Manley suspended trade between Jamaica and South Africa?
Okay.
Did you know that? Did you know that in 1920?
No, I didn't know that.
Did you know that?
I didn't know that Norman Manley suspended trade
Okay.
between
Did you know
Jamaica
that
and
between
South
1920 and 1932, Marcus Garvey as a JLP councillor in the KSAMC, it was Kingston Municipal Corporation at the time, he started the fight against apartheid Africa as a JLP councillor?
I know he was involved in
Did you know that in 1970?
Yes, I do.
Did you know that in 1970, before Michael Manley came in 1972, did you know that in 1970, you Shearer with Edward Seaga as a minister was vocal? They went to the UN and spoke against apartheid South Africa.
As I said before.
Okay, me just correct something.
You have to remember this. You have to remember this. Jamaica. Listen, Michael Manley was the most active when it comes on to that. Those things were mentioned back when Garvey was a part of the JLP. Yes, and that's why Norman Manley and Marcus Garvey did not take tea. You understand? I'm not gonna come here and tell you guys that I know every single thing.
Good afternoon, guys. Let's bring Carl in. Carl, you are joining us for the first today. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
The discussion so far has been quite intriguing. I was sitting by listening and learning. Carl, you want to make a contribution?
Yes, I want to make a contribution here. Just point of reference, and I like the topic. So, in regards to the Manleys, in terms of the Pan-Africanism, right? Now, Pan-Africanism under Michael Manley was a good thing, right? So, it started out in.
Excuse me, Carl. Could you please explain to our listeners what is Pan-Africanism?
Well, Pan-Africanism is just a coin, it's just a word coin for black people in the diaspora to make the linkage with Africa, pretty much, right? So I don't consider myself as a Pan-Africanist. I consider myself as an African, right? I don't subscribe to the term Pan-Africanism. Some people use it, but I consider myself an African because we were taken from that region to the Caribbean. No, I just want to point out something now.
I think you have a point.
Carl, before you
continue though, I think you're misrepresenting that word. You don't have the full understanding of Pan-Africanism.
No, hold on.
Hold on.
Because Pan-Africanism was the word Pan-African. Go ahead.
Sorry, Carl. I really want to place the conversation within the context of our current political realities and the relevance. I want to hear the relevance. Why is this important?
All right. It isn't all right. Everybody wants a leader that reflect the masses of the country, right? And Jamaica, right? Jamaica has been the front runner in terms of our linkage back to the continent of Africa, right? So if you notice the other day when we have these Cuban nurses, the Cuban health workers, it resonated with Jamaica because we are no longer living in the 80s and the 70s. This is the 2000s and 2025. So we accept Cuba as our neighbor.
I'm hastening you on. I'm hastening you on. What is the relevance? What really to our people? What is the relevance today? In the 21st century, 2025, why are we still having this discussion about race?
Because listen, one of your guests pointed out earlier that what are the chances of a colored person, a black person, to become president in the United Kingdom or in America per se? We see we have
But
the
the
presidency.
opposition leader in the United Kingdom now is a black woman from Africa.
Yeah, she's from Nigeria, of Nigerian descent. But what I'm just saying to you now, does she think that she's going to be elevated to the premiership?
You know, sir,
because
fact that the conservative, hold on, when the conservative had their internal elections, there were white people there, and they chose because of her intellectual capacity. Yes, and because she presented to the conservative a clear difference in terms of how she could take them out of the political turmoil that they were in. And I think she's a bright woman.
No, I'm putting aside the brightness. And to have a person leading the country in terms of race in this time and age, it matters. Okay? For me,
why?
it
Why does it matter?
Let me tell you why.
When you go to buy two parties, does it matter that the person making the parties are black or white, or does it matter that they are competent? When you get on a flight, from Norman Manley to Miami, do you worry that the person in the cockpit is black or white, or do you worry that they are competent?
But you see that's different. And let me tell you why it's different. Because everybody, just like in America, why you think Donald Trump gets so much traction? Because the people who voted for Donald Trump, more so, right, wanted to have somebody of their race looking up to for leadership of the country. They established that America is a white country. Therefore, right, they want a white person to be president, and that's why they go after when Barack Obama was president.
So if Golden
presents
to Jamaica, a genuine plan that is authentic, he's a man of character, that he has a vision. You are saying to me that we must not look at his plans. We must not look at his integrity. We must look at his race.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. No, let me understand. Let me tell you clearly. If you look at what happened in America now, right? America has a president. It's not like the Democratic Party didn't have any policy, and it's not like Donald Trump having a grandiose policy that is totally overshadowing the policies and program of the Democrats, right? He gained the electorate choice predominantly because of his racial stance and because
some of you may not like this, but you know, so if you put Mr. Holness and Mr. Golden beside each other, they look alike.
Well, not to me.
Well, Mr. Golden is
no, not to me. No.
Well, listen to me. I am a person.
You have to allow me to make the point, and I want to tell you. I just want to clear up something though before I move on to the point, because the reason why Donald Trump gained so much traction in the last election is not because of his program and policies. Okay, we all know that. It's because of his stance towards immigration and his stance towards people of minority. Okay, we know that point blank. That is why it was elevated in the last election. I am not saying that Mark Golden doesn't have good policies, right? But he had made a lot of missteps. Okay, when he linked him, if you're going to put yourself forward as a white person, but don't try to misappropriate and say that our ancestors. Okay, do not do that. Put yourself out there and let people accept you for who you are. Don't try to paint a picture as if that you are that type of person, which you're not, right? And to me, I like to, and that is why PJ Patterson in the 90s come and say it's black man time now, whether we like him for it or not. But there's a reason why he said it. Okay, because Jamaica predominantly has been ruled and has been governed by people of Caucasian descent, right? So it is important. But if you're going to put yourself, I'm not saying that Mark Golding cannot do a good job, right? And I'd say that but people like to see a representation of their own, representing them. And
I must tell you that I am a little disappointed. I'm a little disappointed that in today's day and age, we could be talking about people's race and skin color.
Neighbor, but it's not only
I'm talking about we, sir, because you see this class is
the global. We are part of the global environment. We can observe ourselves from the global environment. Anyway, I want to say something before I go. Let me just to protecting JA, right? In Jamaica, and this is why it is important to have certain leaders. Okay, Jamaica, right, was the first country in the Western Hemisphere, right, to take out diplomatic sanction against apartheid South Africa. It was the first country in the Western Hemisphere and second behind India. Okay, so we have a good tradition to stand up against racism, apartheid, and imperialism. For me, I like my prime minister to, to have those attributes as well. And that is why we cannot, I'm not a PNP supporter, but Michael Manley, especially Michael Manley, he stood where that is concerned. So much so that
did you support Eddie Siaga?
Of course I supported Eddie Siaga.
And
yes.
Is Mr. Siaga
Eddie Siaga also played a role too.
Is he a black man?
Eddie Siaga was he was a white person.
He's whiter than Gold.
Hold on there. Neighbor, no. That is the reason why.
Why do you say you can't have somebody whiter than another person?
No. The relevance of the point.
Hold on the call. I want to respond to neighbor because I know where neighbor is going. Neighbor. Just to disabuse some persons who might have heard me ranting, just to disabuse your minds. I had no problem with Mark Golding. I actually liked Mark Golding as a Minister of Justice. I had no problem with him. But when Mark Golding took over the PNP, and then he came out, and he said the black one over the JLP, Bobby Montague, and the little boy, and when he started to talk down to people, all I was hearing was white privilege and the white profile taking precedence, plantocracy syndrome. That's all I was hearing. And that is what I don't like. Mark Golding have not failed up until this point.
I don't like it either.
To show us that he is that kind of person. And if he's showing us, Maya Angelou said to us, when a person show you who them be, you better believe them.
You must
it is
believe
nobody
them.
coming to
Yeah,
tell
but
us
if I want open heart surgery, sir, I want the
Can I
case
say
stopped
something?
up. I don't care whether he's from Africa or he's from China. If I am told that the surgeon who is going to perform heart surgery on me is the best in the world, his race means nothing to me. And when I sit in a room, when I sit in a room to listen to a lecturer, I don't know. I am listening to the competence of the person. I don't know whether his color of his skin is absolutely nothing.
But Mark
do you know
the black one, Bobby Montague, the black one, the black
Do you
boy,
know that a lot
Bobby.
of what Mark Golding has said, a lot of those disparaging things that I've never heard them, but people say.
But Gary,
Mark
let me
Golding
ask
has
you
said. It's coming from Dayton Campbell,
Yeah, Gary, let me ask you a question. Because
No matter if you're a leader, you don't make somebody tell you to do something. I didn't Campbell plan
But
this.
I saw him stay. But
yeah, Gary.
But guess
Gary,
what? That's
go
the
ahead,
point.
Gary.
Where does leadership come in, Gary? Dayton Campbell plan the skit. And Mark Golding as a big Caucasian man should have known, say, he's not going to look good over the world. Okay, let's close your eyes for a minute and imagine Mark Golding, Prime Minister of Jamaica. And when him show up at the UN, somebody fall out with Jamaica because Jamaica take a position within the line. And the picture, the image that they are going to have of the Jamaican Prime Minister on the big screen at UN is the Jamaican Prime Minister holding a chain around a black man. You see, we don't understand these things,
Mark Golding is deeply influenced by Dayton Campbell. I don't know that maybe they're have respect, that much more respect for Dayton Campbell.
Your child
Jerry.
can't influence where you
Go
do
ahead,
in your yard,
neighbor.
brother.
I
must be
want
mature
to
enough
ask you
to
this,
know what
Gary.
should go and what should go.
Tell me about the 400 or odd thousand people, Jamaicans, black people, who are going to mark an X beside the signet of the People's National Party. How do they see that? Do you not understand that for those Jamaicans, it's largely cultural, it's largely what it is that they have seen in him that they are going to support?
Many of them not going to vote for Mark Golden neighbor. They're going to vote for Michael Manley. And it's sad. It's
Michael what?
They're voting for Michael Manley.
And he's deceiving them with that because he has been used.
That is true.
That's why
they're
they're
talking a lot about Mark. That is why
that's why Arcady night have walk up on stage one night here and Bobby Pickers get a 3 man if you carry him. Him no reach 6 man bring him back here.
I mean, they're trying to
They're trying to remind your voters of Michael Manley. That is strategy.
Michael Manley them are try to bring back because they know that nobody now support the PNP.
Everybody else except Mark Golding, you know. You don't realize that the PNP party is relying on the votes of PJ Patterson, Michael Manley, and everybody else except voting for Mark Golding.
And neighbor, if you're using that number, which is the number about a decade ago of the PNP's base, that base doesn't exist no more. I think the PNP base is tapping about 340, 350,000 now. It don't exist anymore.
But don't you think protecting that our best our best strategy is to expose the PNP for what they are and promote the Labour Party for what it is doing, and to show the distinct difference so that the people's eyes can be open to the progressive nature of the Labour Party's politics and the what we call regressive nature of the PNP. Because when you are going to take Bobby Pickers out of his bed to take him to a meeting, you know, I believe that our arguments ought to focus more on the positives that the government is doing rather than this thing about race.
Which we do. But
the JLP
we
is
remind the
not
people that
doing
PNP
a
is
good job.
They're running a funeral home and they're running a daycare center.
Success stories to the people.
Degrade what you call it, adults. We do. We promote the government, but we also have to show the people that the PNP are running a nursing home. Them are running
I've heard you mentioning this war path that you're on, and almost as if you have taken on a new aura in terms of your posture and defense of the party. Is it necessary?
It is.
Come out, man. Because he protecting their life what time it is, you know?
It is war time, a crunch time. A Dayton Campbell not taking on the same energy. The PNP would be nowhere today. Do you realize that Dayton Campbell took on that energy to drum up support and to get the party to a certain point now where they can even be competitive? It is the same thing Dayton Campbell do, you know. And the JLP, they are going to have to do it at some point. When the campaign starts, you're going to see people on the stage presenting the party with the strength and the vigor and the passion that they are supposed to. And that's what
that is one of the ills.
Protecting, can I say something though?
Protecting. That is one of the ills of our Jamaican society. We 1000% subscribe to the market woman behavior. The Dayton Campbell kind of politics, you know, the mudslinging and the propaganda, all of this misinformation.
No man, that
kind of politics need to stop.
That's only resonate with them. Yes,
and I don't see Dayton Campbell as anybody to look up to. So
exactly.
And we don't want the JLP to do that. That's why I'm not a fan of Mr. Warmington. I know other labor rights are so in love with his behavior. I am disgusted because every time Warmington open his mouth, the Prime Minister for go on the defensive.
Let me teach you something, my brother. Let me help you with something, my brother.
But that's what the Jamaican people love.
The marketplace has many different customers in it. And in the marketplace, you have to appeal to different levels of your customer base. There are some customers like yourself who just want Mary, Jesus, Michael to come and speak to you. And there's another base that want a Warmington to come and speak to them. They won't
It's like in a bar. It's like in a bar protecting where some people drink white, some drink beer, some drink light beer.
Okay.
And
some have
drink
raw
soda.
white rum.
It's not a one thing. It's not a one approach that will work. You have different approaches.
Yeah.
That you have to take.
Right, you can't talk to the uptown people them. That's why you put people where they are going to have the influence that you need them to have. Delroy Chuck the uptown, Cherry Garden and them place there. You put him up there, so. You need a Warmington down at Ola be like him a selfish. So there is an audience for everybody.
Give me a little chance, please. I want to go back to the initial argument, the conversation I was having with neighbor. So you were saying that if I supported Edward Siaga back in the days, right?
Yeah, you did.
Yes, and I said yes. But what you have to realize though, and you know that Edward Siaga was vilified because of this
because it was representing black interests.
No. Repeat that?
He was serving black interests, ordinary Jamaicans.
Right.
That is why he was demonized. Any prime minister of Jamaica who's defending the people's interests and not serving the interests of the ruling class will be attacked. We need to understand.
He suffered because of his race.
But separate and apart from that, though, Foresight.
No, that a PNP attack him for color.
Yeah,
that's
but
PJ just use that as a political strategy.
Yeah, even from before,
remember,
PNP, Family is coming up. Even from before PJ.
No, because that's what I'm saying now. The attack that he got from the system, because sometimes people don't understand, say, right? What the PNP doesn't know is take advantage of a system that attacks a leader, right? That's what PNP doesn't know.
Yeah, but hold on, but just move the discussion because it resonated with the people at the time when them say, boy, my leader no ban, right? And to a lot of JP supporters, no. Right, the table has turned, right? And what they are looking at, even though Eddie Siaga was the better of the two at the time, PJ Patterson or Michael Manley got the nod because of their rhetoric and they were seen as not white, right? Now, for me, every country, I don't think you can equate the person operating on you in a theater or a person flying a plane, when it comes to a country, a demographic, people around the world like to see their own demographic, somebody from their demographic is representing the country all over the world. All over the world. So
except Jamaica and Black Nation.
Well, right. So and right now Mark Golding has a lot of support. Don't think he doesn't have any support. But for me,
but as neighbor said earlier, shouldn't it be about the qualification of the person? That question, neighbor just asked you that. Shouldn't it be about that?
Yes, that's a good point. It has to do.
No, neighbor gave examples of like a surgeon, which is different from politics.
Foresight. Haven't we suffered? Haven't we suffered as a country? Because we have looked at this part of politics. I mean, what is the competence? And I don't want to call any names here, because if we were looking at competence, certain of the people we elect to office would never be elected. You know, go look at the councillors that we have serving, for example. They identify with the people. Some of them are the most incompetent set of people I've ever seen.
That is true. Yeah, that's true. But are you saying that we can't find among us people who are competent? We look like us. We still can.
We can. But I would say to you that if a man comes to us white as Jack and he has the vision, the character, like an Eddie Siaga, he went into West Kingston as a sociologist and lived among the people, studied the people, and emerged from the people as a leader, right?
But the difference with Eddie Siaga, you know, Eddie Siaga could have, it's just his complexion, you know, because you could easily see that man loved black people because he lived amongst black people. And when people say that he did nothing towards the apartheid struggle, right?
Remember now, Eddie Siaga built Mandela Park. And I heard Protecting JA read a couple articles where he wrote to Margaret Thatcher in England, the then British Prime Minister in England in the 80s, about their treatment of Africans. Right? So we cannot say, but for me now, Mark Golding in such a way now, is somewhat distinguished himself. People might not agree, and I agree with one of your panelists that some of the rhetoric that he comes with is coming directly from the General Secretary, Dayton Campbell. We appreciate that. But as a leader, when somebody comes to you with certain things, you have to dissect it. You have to dissect it, look into it, and see if it worth the while. Because
well, it's populism, you know, sir.
Huh?
It's populism if you can rile up a crowd and win votes.
Yeah,
and you know, sir,
nothing,
as I think about this discussion, I think about the young people of Jamaica, and I think about those persons at this time who are making up their minds as to who they are going to vote for. And I continue to say that we are not appealing to the middleman, the person who has really nothing to do with the politics, you know, and these are some of the reasons why some people are turned off from it.
But most of the people in that turn off from politics, you know, they have no reason to do so, you know. It's just because they are just going with the status quo. Because the middle class people, they are benefiting from the system. They can, you know, most of them.
Well, you know, so if I sit down to interview a man to fix my car or to work for me, I couldn't care less what him color. I am looking at his resume and his competence.
You cannot equate that with politics.
Neighbor.
It's a contact sport.
No, I don't know why. I just don't know why. Because if you are going to tell me that my leader, the leader of my country ought to be of my color skin.
Why do you think Donald Trump won the last election? So
I can tell you that I think Trump won because the Democrats just mess up the thing. The economy there was bad.
Your reason why Trump win, you know. Trump win because Biden did so poorly.
Neighbor.
You understand? That's why Trump win. People
Trump
were
win
sick
because
and tired
Biden had lost the election
what
long time.
Biden was doing. Biden was just making too many mistakes. And the people was tired. They had enough. Buses of immigrants coming into communities, and they taking taking kids out of school to house immigrants. That makes no sense. You have men participating in women's activities because they choose to identify themselves a certain kind of way. The people are tired, and they get tired at a certain time. People have had enough. That's why Trump win, and because he did better. Kamala didn't win because she was going to represent the same thing that Biden does.
Yeah,
and people are tired. And because Trump is better. God, Trump never better. And we know that. But yes, but what we're saying is that those are the key factors. Those things stood out in people's minds. In a Democrat state, you have thousands of immigrants coming across the border, being bussed in, putting up in hotels, giving $10,000 to buy food or whatever. Like how much longer those things were gonna take place? And here we have a guy that said he goes to cut it out immediately. That's what people want.
That's not entirely true though. That's not entirely true.
What do you mean that's not true? I mean, New York. What you say to me, brother? We don't know about that. We can't tell about. Listen, we can't tell about busload of people. What me say with my do, yeah. You understand? We are coming and we are sitting. I mean, see that. But we don't know about that part. But there was too many people coming in.
A lot of Asians were sent back to Haiti. Okay? And during that time, men were riding on horses, flagging people at the border. Okay? So I'm not discounting what you're saying now. It's a fact, but it's not a one thing only that caused the election.
But the majority of people, my friend, the majority of people, this is what they saw.
Yeah, but
in
Trump
front of them on the news every day. It was on the news every day.
Yeah, I know that, but Trump policies too, and in himself and what he represents, also play a significant part in the election too. Because we all know that Trump is a white supremacist. Okay, we know that.
Yes.
We know that.
Yes,
and
that's true.
Hold on, gentlemen. Let's bring back the conversation home.
Right.
it's important that we have these conversations, you know, because you see, just the very fact that people are always going to have different opinions as it relates to that. Now, let us examine this a little bit deeper as neighbor reintroduced it. When we consider culture, we're not just talking about the culture of me eat ackee and saltfish and somebody else love pasta. That's not it. We're talking about the Caucasian person have a different upbringing. The Caucasian person, they established the foundation, especially their formative years, on the premise of a kind of supremistic kind of situation where they don't have to account the same way that the black person have to account. They come through a situation of privilege that we didn't have. And when we have these people now, again, I use the example that of Mark Golding. As Mark Golding company scene, he started to disrespect people. Not that I think he's just innately disrespectful, you know. But because as a white man, we grew up in a white privilege, because yes, there's such a thing. He might not be able to even differentiate the fact that, listen me, if you talk to your white friend them this way, it's okay. But if you talk to some black people this way, you're talking down to them.
Right.
My
So
94-year-old grandmother, my 97-year-old grandmother.
Protecting JA, you call that unconscious bias.
Unconscious bias.
That's what you call it.
Yeah, but you don't feel like the Jamaican white people them grew up in the culture? You don't feel like they're a part of the culture too? Who practice the same culture as we?
Well, on, man, the Jamaican white people, them, as you put it, they are not running for leadership of our country. They are not running to lead a black nation. I am talking about Mark Golding. You see what Siaga?
They're not even a part of it, man.
Siaga reached must be 18-year-old. Him born with him citizenship of America. And as soon as him come of age, he relinquished his ties. But here the next thing when him do. Exactly. I mean, here some comrade that try to compare Siaga with Mark Golding. Here the next thing Siaga did. Siaga knew that there is no other way that he can understand the Jamaican people but to go live among them. And him go live among them in the squalor and the amount of cursing.
I said it earlier.
The amount of cursing thing and study the people, and when he understood enough, he promised the people them don't have back a wall, because we talk about Tivoli like I never back a wall name in a squalor. And he said to them, I am going to go into politics. But if you support me when we go into politics, I promise you that I will lift you out of this current state that it is. And the people trusted him.
He came here as an adult. Siaga came here as an adult,
No,
right?
no, you brought him back to Jamaica 3 months old.
No. He came as an adult. Don't do that. Don't say that.
3 months old, they came back to Jamaica.
When he
grew up in Jamaica and born in a Boston.
But remember, and when he went, remember he went back overseas and then he studied and he
come back.
Come back.
When he was studying, he had already renounced his citizenship. He renounced his citizenship while he was studying.
Where did he come back? Where
he came back to Jamaica because of Jamaica his mother and father live.
Exactly. So Jamaica is home from an early age.
You say that much different from Golding.
No, but you're not going to because you have a white inferiority complex.
Here now.
Complex. So you're not going to see difference. It's a difference.
It's a Gary. So that we heavily. This is hilarious, man. Listen to me. I have no inferiority towards no one.
You want me to state one obvious difference to you?
Well, it's very redundant. It's black and white argument.
You want me to state one obvious difference to you? Siaga built the house where the staircase tear down in a Mark Golding constituency. Siaga built Jamaica, Mark Golding tear it down. Look for a simple difference there. Look for a simple difference there. It's easy, bro.
What protection? Hold on. Ask Gary a question.
The banking system, when Mark Golding mash up, Siaga build the banking system in Jamaica. How many people know that?
Protecting. Why last year, Mark Golding think twice to relinquish his UK citizenship? Why think twice?
Sir, we don't know if him still link.
No, he did not do it. But him say must up and pray and fasting to do it.
I say, I try to equate Siaga with...
No, where I do? He must have a prayer and fasting to go think about.
I am trying to dismiss the argument.
Well, you can't, but you have to dismiss it.
It's relevant
Reasonable.
to Jamaican politics in 2025.
Gary,
it's quite
you live in New York, sir.
Foolish.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. You live in New York. I am down in Florida here. And since Make America Great Again come active, we have seen the evidence of what it means. White supremacy, white in charge of positions that they were not supposed to be. Now, is it that you're going to say to us here that in 2025 we must not see it as important? The other step that I want you to address for me, was it in 1972 to 1980 that Jamaica recognized or even addressed the apartheid system, right? And when was the Black Star Liner in effect? Was it in the 70s? I want you to address it because I think we're kind of overlooking the real thing that we are talking about, in my humble opinion.
Listen, the issue of inequality and injustice has always, or in other parts of the world, okay, even in the 60s coming up, Jamaica's always addressed that in some way, shape, or form.
So it's not a Michael Manley thing then. That's what we need to establish.
It has never been, exclusive to Michael Manley.
No.
They always recognize it. But it is.
Hold on, Gary, qualify what you say. It is not Jamaica have not adequately addressed inequality. The PMP have not adequately deal with inequality.
If you want to say that, brother, if you want
no,
to
so
say
why
that,
you can't say it
I
when
can't go as far. I can't go as far because every government from in the 60s, every government addressed it. Every government addressed it.
Oh, really?
And no one.
So why Andrew Wallace are the best prime minister every government addressed it?
No government was okay with what was going on in South Africa at the time. None of them.
South Africa,
okay, Marcus Garvey took up. There you go again.
Yeah, no, make him finish protected.
Just remember where we are coming
when Marcus Garvey took up. You said Marcus Garvey took up. Take it from
when
here.
Marcus Garvey started address it. You understand? It's when Marcus Garvey start address it. But what could Marcus Garvey have done at that time? He didn't have the power and the political influence.
He did. That's why them set him up for mail fraud. Because he didn't just attack.
That was when he went to America, my friend. You see, let's stop flip-flopping. That was when he went to America. He started this thing from he was in Jamaica.
Yes,
exactly.
All
right, and then when he left, he never had no power in Jamaica. And when he left Jamaica, and America.
He was a
counselor. So a counselor in Jamaica has power to influence anything on the international stage. Come on, man.
I believe we're sharing enough information here, Gary, for you to go research. When Marcus Garvey started this journey in Jamaica, Norman Manley run him out of Jamaica. They lock him up 5 times. Norman Manley lock him up and say, I'm going to destabilize the society. Do you understand your history, sir? Norman Manley
of course.
Lock him up and say, no,
but you tell me something different.
Yes,
do you know, what did he do? But what was he able to do then? What was he able to do then? When he was in Jamaica at that time, what was he able to do then on the world stage?
From behind bars, brother, Norman Manley lock him up.
No, he couldn't have done it internationally because it wasn't nobody yet.
No. Gary.
There was a bit,
Gary, protected. Just back me up with them information. Did he have an institution downtown Kingston? What is it called? Negro. Help me somebody. Negro. The Negro thing where they
United Negro.
UNIA. So how can you say?
Improvement Association, something like that.
Exactly. So how can you say he did not do anything? That's
Hold on. Mario, let me talk to Gary now.
What you do in Jamaica different from what you do on the world stage?
No, but you
can't.
Can I say
When
something?
did he get international notoriety? When? Tell me that.
Prison.
I in
And he got
Jamaica.
prison when he deserve to go prison. When Michael Manley back to school,
Can I say something?
prison got a fuck.
The social engineering that has taken place over the years, right?
Disconnect, please.
The social engineering that protecting Turbo that has taken place over the years has programmed us to think about what we can get and not who we can become, right? Now, Michael Manley is being highly respected for coming with a lot of social relief, right? That's what, it's not about empowerment, and that is my problem, right? It's about relying on a government, right? It sets the stage for dependency, where the performance of a government is measured based on what you can get, what somebody can do for me. It's not about empowering and lifting up our people, right? And putting us in the positions to be producers and not consumers. And that is my problem with the system. Today, you have a lot of persons, especially the PNP, when they talk about performance of the government, the conversation boils down to, right, what them can get. That's what it boils down to. You hear them talk all the time about what that do for poor people. And you cannot measure the performance of a government based solely, solely on the social welfare and.
But in the 90s, if you're to be fair to foresight, it's in the 90s we lost that dignity, you know. In the 90s, we lost that dignity because of what happened to us. So that's the mindset thereafter. But
how can you build a nation on that? One plate of food.
It can't work. It should never work.
Every child must go line up in a line now for one plate of food. It's not about empowering a parent or empowering parents to be able to provide for the kids. And the PNP still to this day, many of them think that that is good governance.
Yes, because
right?
they don't understand who is government. Yes.
It is not about what you can get. It's
about defining the role of government.
It is about how you develop, right, your people. It's about who you can become, not about what you can get. Me rather government, me say all the while, that raise the bar and lift the people up to the level of the bar than lowering the bar to meet the people where they are. And that is why I admire Andrew Holness, right? Because he's always talking about the prosperity, lifting people up, upskilling people, right? Providing people with the requisite skills, right? To empower themselves. That is how you take a nation out of poverty. But you don't take a nation out of poverty by keeping people there and massaging them in poverty, right? With
foresight
and social relief.
But foresight, one of the things that you have to congratulate the People's National Party for is that their messaging in terms of shifting the masses away from critical thinking, they are so big on that, right? Because when people, I've spoken to people, I was in Jamaica the other day.
No, what you say I must do? Respect them for that?
well,
the marketing is good foresight. You can't beat it.
But they succeeded because why you think the Prime Minister?
No, if you succeed in destroying a nation, that's not something I'm going to respect you for.
Yeah, but I agree with you, Carl. I agree with Carl, you know. Because they're campaigning on absolutely nothing and they're still gaining numbers.
They're good at
that's what I'm saying here, because look at it. Why do you think the Prime Minister have to come out and defend the performance and the economy? Where they are saying that the People's National Party, because they did it in 1989, you know. Michael Manley did it in 1989, you know. When he says that the economy is growing, but the people are not growing. And the people bought into it. And we are seeing it playing out right now where they're saying that the economy can't yam.
Statistics can't yam, eh?
I'm just going to say this, I'll leave the floor to your call. Just going to say this right here, because I need to say this here. And that is why I wanted to come in from neighbor was saying that the strategy would be to sell the performance and tell people the positive of the country. A lot of people know the positives that go in the country. I think the real strategy is to destroy that notion, right? that long-standing notion that the PNP has been carrying about PNP is for the poor, because the people don't understand this for the poor thing, right? To destroy that, and that is what the PNP is benefiting from. It is the strongest threat against the JLP, because there are still people now who still feel that, right? If they are poor, they are better under the PNP, because the PNP
because of marketing does that, you know. All right. So why
exactly, and I'm saying that is why I'm saying we want a marketing that counters that, because
we have
that
to take it
where the PNP
foresight. We got to go back to 72. We got to go back to 72 and get rid of it. Foresight. We got to go back to 72 and let people stop believe that Marcus
Hold on.
No, we can't go back to 72. We have to start with this.
Foresight. Yeah. That is why protecting JA was said. I think he was misinterpreting when he was saying he was going to mash up this PMP ideology where Michael is concerned.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Because look at it now. The last poll that they did, they asked a question, Dan Anderson asked a question, which party loves the poor more? Most of the respondents says the PMP. Which party? Which party is better at providing
more jobs?
The Labour Party. So how can you love a party that look out for you, but at the same time not providing jobs for you? When
the answer to that is culture, my friend.
That is coming as a result of
all of that is culture.
I think we need a campaign
we have a culture.
Go ahead.
We are fatally attracted to buffoonery.
Exactly.
You understand me?
Yes.
If you listen to our
fatally attracted to what?
Buffoonery.
Of course.
Buffoonery
what is
and fuckery. Excuse me,
what
friend.
Is buffoonery, sir?
If you listen to our artists and you listen to the lyrics and you listen to the music and you listen to things that they're saying that we are so happy to hear. You understand? A lot of it is absolutely nonsense. But it's the same thing that our political leaders are using against us in the case of the PNP. Look how many entertainers they put on stage. You understand? To make the people believe that yes, we are the party who are going to make you feel good. It's a feel good situation.
From 72, sir.
Because if one pothole, listen, if the pothole in front of your house never get fixed, no pothole no fixed. And that is the mentality that they've been running with year after year.
It's not that the people love it, you know. The people have been fed with it, right?
So
if you yes, I mean,
it becomes a second nature for them.
It becomes your meal, right?
Because the man in China is not, right? The man in China doesn't desire jerk chicken. Right, as was one of his favorite meal, as the man in Jamaica, because the culture is different. You have to understand that when you feed people with something for a while, right? Like if you grow your child up on a certain meal, it's not that your child has a preference for that meal, but she's grown up or he's grown up on that, so you take a liking to it. So what I'm saying to you, would have seen where good music, right? Barry Salmon. Never talk a piece of slackness, right? Still a big artist in Jamaica, still loved by many. Right? My belief is that Barry Salmon and Buju Banton is the two most loved artists in Jamaica, right? Right? I have maintained that. People can say Vibes Cartel, but I know why I say Buju and Barry.
But you see, when Buju put on the orange, though,
right across the board.
We
right? In a certain demographics, nobody beat Cartel.
That gave them a big traction, right?
Right. The church people like Barry's. Right? Your mother like berries, right? Younger folks like berries, so right across, berries meeting, right? So what I'm saying to you is that when you expose people to, if you don't expose people to other things, then they can only like, right? The things that are among the things that you expose them to. So it's not
and
that
18 year was the problem, sir.
It's about programming.
18 and a half years.
You get the people to like the wrong things. So you get the people to become this, to like the come to save us kind of leadership, right? So the government must come to save us rather than providing opportunities to build us and develop us as a people. That is what we have been
absolutely,
experiencing.
and that is
what
listen,
Andrew is trying
in the
to
mind of the
challenge
poor,
now.
that is way more attractive, right?
Right.
To a poor
So Andrew's
man,
really going
that
up
is
against a
a
status quo.
very attractive thing.
It's
Gary,
an entire culture,
somebody's
you know.
going to
Andrew's
save
a
me.
threat to our entire culture, you know. And that is a problem, you know.
Gary,
right?
What you're experiencing, you know, Gary. Yeah. We are experiencing, not just you, we're experiencing the PMP in their soundings realize that that hold or that grab they once had on the majority of the lumpens. Carl Stone in his book referred to them as the lumpens, meaning the people below a certain line. That hold does not exist anymore. And so they are in a mad rush now to try to pull themselves back to power, because if the Andrew Holness effect and the new Jamaica effect continues, within another 5 years, the PMP will have no political influence of such that they will always rely on the foolishness that you just mentioned to bring them back to political power. So what we are experiencing right now, you know, they're pulling for the old tactics that they have always used, the artists, them, popular slang, populism, and all them nonsense to try to
Popular
rescue.
slogans, popular narratives.
Right, to try to rescue their political movement. They are doing it. They are doing it at the expense of putting forward new ideas and programs to move the Jamaican society forward. And so what we are seeing right before our eyes. So always remember this, you know, Gary. They are making a lot of political noise, you know, but it is not a lot of effective noise. Most of the noise that they're making is appealing to their shrinking base. Not even their base is not that strong anymore. And so somebody used earlier in the conversation the contrast of the United States of America. Even though the United States of America voted for a Trump, I believe it was mostly the fear mongering that Trump used, and that their white society was a threat to other nationalities coming in to take precedence. But the Jamaican context is different, because in the Jamaican context, we still have a large part of the society that is still uneducated and does not read the politics like an American society would.
Exactly.
But the people who read the politics a certain way, who are always above the line where the lumpens fall below, I believe that this election, they're going to come out and vote to protect the gains that they have made in the last 9 years. And I'm talking about the middle class and the upper middle class.
Middle class protected.
You're right.
Let us see how smart they are protected. Let us see what
But
they
this is
want
what's going to happen,
protected.
though.
Let us see how ambitious they are.
The PNP always make
they're definitely not going to succeed in what they're doing if they continue to do it the way they're doing, because guess what?
Have a way
people are wiser, and people, you know, have woken up to you know, the fact that, you know, the country is moving in a positive direction, and, you know, they are voting as such. So moving forward for the PNP, if they do not succeed, which they most likely won't in the next general election, if they cannot get it together and change their whole structure and the way they do things, you know, they will not have a place in politics.
The constitution of the
people. We can totally agree with you, Gary, because Jamaicans are showing a likeness to certain things. As such, Andrew Holness should be 80% at this point with the work that we have seen him done for the people of Jamaica in terms of its third term.
Because that mindset is not fully washed out.
Mario, Andrew Holness is ahead.
What is the liking? What is the liking that they are showing? What is the liking?
No, we cannot. Hold on, Mario. We have to think. We have to think on our feet now. The poll, while the poll reflects a leading for the Jamaica Labour Party, the Jamaica Labour Party usually does not experience the true percentage of their lead until the truest poll on election day. Why? When the pollsters go through the community, Jamaica Labour Party supporters are people who lean to the Jamaica Labour Party are usually at work.
Yes.
JLP people are working people. No pollster not catch no JLP somebody unless them and we are going to work and we are come from work.
You have a point.
So when we see the poll even lead.
So hold on, protecting JA. Are you saying the People's National Party supporters don't work?
No, sir. Not majority of them. About 30% of them work.
So you say that is not a rigged thing.
Yeah, man, that is always a riggy.
No, I think
I rather the blue dot poll anyway.
Not only that, remember that they are retirees. Remember that they are retirees protecting.
Right, so then capture some of them too. And that's why the old
but protecting JA, Forsyth and I was having a conversation just last week on this very same platform. This election coming up, we are going to know the true picture of the electorate, whether the middle class come out and vote or it is left up to the party faithful or the base of the party. So I am not. I don't want to say
for one.
But
I am not pitching. I since 2020, I have decided that I will not pitch the 2025 election against any other election. Why?
Yes.
A leopard. They don't change their spot. And what do I mean by